Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we hear you, President. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes, we can.
Excellent. This is to say very warm welcome. We'll be rolling off in just a moment. Thank you so much, our very kind panelists and every participant who has already taken time to arrive very early. Our greetings and appreciation to His Excellency Ambassador Anderson Madubuike, who has made very huge sacrifice to join us from Australia. Australia now, it's past 11 p.m., but he was one of the first people to arrive. Very warm appreciation to Professor Ofodile, who has joined us from Nigeria as well, one of our panelists. And plenty of appreciation to our brother, Dr. Nanchi, joining us from Germany. A lot of sacrifices people are making from different places. Our colleagues here in China, our brother Emmanuel Eresanya, who is joining us from Ireland. And it's good to just mention to us that indeed we are being joined by colleagues and well-wishers of Africa and strong committed persons that care about the continent of Africa. Our brother, Lieutenant Colonel Gordon, is also joining us from Lebanon at the moment, where he is heading one of the UN peacekeeping missions. And our various colleagues, Professor Richard, Mungin Sandra, just everybody, our brother Mahama Yahaya from Ghana, joining from different places. It's such a joy knowing that we are all here. And please, I want to do a very warm welcome to also our sister Marwa, who is joining us from Egypt, a professor over there. And let me also appreciate the presence of our brother, Ayugi Brian, who is joining us from South Korea. Our sister Chiamaka Linda Ngbechi Dimma, who is joining us from Hong Kong. Our brother Oderin Deyinka, Dr. Oderin Deyinka, who is joining us from Nigeria. Our sister Fambo Holder, who is currently in Benin Republic and is joining us right here. Our brother Abdehadi. I'm not perfectly sure where you currently are, but I think the last time I talked to you when you were in China. Our sister Heba Abdallah, Egypt. We're excited to have you on board. Our brother Musa Tada, who is in Hangzhou, China here. We're excited to have you on board. The other names, our brother Aaron is in China here. I hope that's the Aaron. Maybe there's another one, I don't know. Our brother Ahmed Omoni, who has also joined us. It's exciting to have you on board, one of our panelists. Our brother Christopher Doma, he's right here in China. Christopher Momo, we are very excited to have you on board. Our brother Gideon Solar. Our brother Richard Danchua, we are excited to have you. Our brother Andrew Gichira. Our sister Eunice Jogri, Dr. Eunice Jogri, joining us from Ghana, lecturer over there at UDS. Our brother Usifo, we are excited. Our sister Edidion Atakba, who is right here in China, postdoctoral research fellow, research associate at Southwest University. I think I've been able to reach out to the various persons who have arrived at the moment, and we'll be reaching out to more, but that's just saying that we recognize your presence and that we're excited. This meeting has already been live streamed, and all that will be joining us shortly. If I've not been able to call your name, okay, our sister Benita, if I've not called your name, for others, I may not have called your name. I just want to say that it's not intentional, but we're just moving forward. It's exciting to have us. So please, just a moment. Let's get the tool that helps us get started more effectively, which we're just going to throw in briefly. Thank you so much for coming in. Looking forward to engaging with you in just a few minutes. Oh, yeah. Hello, Tonda. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Okay, please. Okay, please. All right, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are right now on top of the minute when we are starting this very important conference. And as I mentioned previously, the conference is already live streamed and we're moving very speedily. Right now, I'm going to start the recording. Apart from the fact that we already have it online, we will start the recording. And once we have the recording running, we'll be able to play the introductory video that has been packaged for this very important conference. So please let me just do that in a moment. And once after the video is done, we'll roll on with the other parts, beginning with the various stages of it. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to officially welcome us once again to this very important conference. It's a solemn assembly where we are having very deep conversations amongst diverse layers and friends and stakeholders from different parts of the world. And I would like to confirm if I'm being heard very clearly.
Yes, you are.
We can hear you.
Excellent. Yes, and with that in place, permit me to please play the introductory video of this conference as it shall flow from this moment. Can we hear the video? Could we hear the video?
No, please.
Okay, let me
It's tracking.
Okay. You could hear, but it was cracking. You could hear, but it was cracking.
There's also echo on the ground.
Okay. Okay, if it's the echo, I want to just let me. Once I play it now, if it is okay, you could just type a text in the box so that I will know that everything is okay. And it's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third OAAD International Conference on Precision, Citizen Participation, and People-to-People Strategic Engagements. The theme of our conference is multidisciplinary and multi-professional collaboration strategies for dealing with wicked problems, speedy growth, and intergenerational wealth creation recipes for sustainable development. Our panel for today, firstly, Ambassador Anderson N. Madubike, the High Commissioner in the High Commission of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in Australia, covering also New Zealand and Papua New Guinea. Professor Oyewale Tomori, a member of the World Health Organization Technical Advisory Group on COVID-19 vaccine composition, also a former Vice Chancellor of the Redeemers University in Nigeria and fellow and former president of the Nigerian Academy of Science. Dr. Mavis Kolobe. Dr. Mavis Kolobe is the OAAD Vice President for Southern Africa and a lecturer in the Department of Economics at University of Botswana. Dr. Brian Ayugi, the OAAD Vice President for the East African Chapter and a research scientist at Seoul National University of Science and Technology in South Korea. Professor Ofodile Loreto, the Chief Lecturer and Principal Investigator at Yaba College of Technology, Professor of African American at the African American University and Republic of Benin. Lieutenant Colonel Gordon Mensah Yoson of the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College. Dr. Benita Odile. Dr. Benita Odile is the coordinator of OAAD Lusophone MA Project Unit. She is a postdoctoral fellow at Fudan University and a lecturer at the University of Nigeria. Professor Yekini Shehu, Professor of Mathematics at Zhejiang Normal University in Jinhua, China. Dr. Samuel Olo Warotimi, Senior Lecturer and Lead Investigator at the School of Computing and Engineering, University of Derby. Dr. Samuel Olowarotimi, Senior Lecturer and Lead Investigator at the School of Computing and Engineering, University of Derby. Professor Marwa Mohammed, specializing in rehabilitation medicine and physical therapy at Nanjing Medical University, also an assistant professor at the Faculty of Physical Therapy, Beni Suef University, Egypt. Also joining us today is Dr. Hyacinth Namchi, PhD scientist at Geomar Helmholtz Center for Ocean Research, Germany. We also have Dr. Heber and Abdi Alar, researcher at the National Research Center in Egypt. Dr. Oderinde Olayinka, adjunct lecturer and supervisor at Anton de Kom University of Suriname, South America. Ruth Frimpoma Anafi, specializing in world history at Zhengzhou University. Sahid A. Rahim, postdoctoral research fellow at the Department of Applied Environmental Chemistry, University of Szeged, Hungary. Dr. Victoria A. Uyanger, financial secretary of OAAD Global, and also a postdoctoral research fellow in animal nutrition and physiology. Ahmed Olekan Omoni, specializing in material science and engineering at the Changchun University of Science and Technology in China. Dr. Komolafe, secretary of OAAD Education Research Group, also a lecturer of international education at Shanghai University of Medicine and Health Sciences. Professor Bright Onkonko, associate research professor at the Institute of Corrosion Science and Technology in Guangzhou. Ms. Tabisa Namolinde, research assistant, Kiambongo University, Department of Research and Technology at the Faculty of Science, Kampala. We also have Dr. Emmanuel O. Eresania, PhD. He is a member of the Global Organization of African Academic Doctors, also a researcher, Irish Climate Analysis Research Unit, Department of Geography, Maynooth University in Ireland. Also with us today is Pambo Holder, General Secretary of the OAAD Global School of Economics in Nankai University, also a founder of Cornerstone Trading and Amelie Care Foundation. Engineer Yahaya Mahamar, Head of OAAD Games and Sports Department, also an engineer in the Ministry of Roads and Highways, Department of Urban Roads, Ghana. Dr. Abdouyale, Vice President for Central Africa Global Organization of African Academic Doctors. Gideon F.B. Sol at the Tianjin Key Laboratory for Modern Drug Delivery and High Efficiency, School of Pharmaceutical Science and Technology, Tianjin University in China. Dr. Eunice Yogri, Secretary to OAAD Global, also a lecturer at SDD University of Business and Integrated Development Studies. Professor Gustav Komda Mahunu, Associate Professor for Food Science and Technology Department in the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Development Studies in Ghana. Engineer Dr. Chikboku Ozegu for Africa Center for Excellence for Sustainable Power and Energy Development, University of Nigeria. Dr. Mercy Mweni Katina, Head of OAAD, Department of Welfare and Member Progress. Dr. Kaunda Joseph from Hanbon Science and Technology Company. Bechidima Chiamaka, Head of OAAD, Department of Welfare and Member Progress. Favor Oluwampelumi Oyelami from the John Curtin School of Medical Research, Australian National University, Canberra. Amongin Sandra, International Space Law at the Beijing Institute of Technology in Beijing. Dr. Taha Hussein, OAAD Vice President for Northern Africa, also a lecturer for epidemiology and health statistics at Darfur University. Dr. Edith Yog Adakpa, Research Associate at Southwest University of Science and Technology in China. Dr. Hamza Abdullahi, Head of PR Department for OAAD Global, also a senior researcher at Zhejiang University, China. Thanks to all our partners for supporting us and being with us today in this conference.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our joy once again to welcome all of us to this very important conference. And having heard about the various persons who are going to be speaking with us today and bringing us various content and information, we are now fully ready. And I want to just quickly say to us that this is indeed a solemn assembly. And if you had some moments to look at the content we communicated on the website, you may have been able to see the full picture of what we're looking at. But permit me to just quickly, within a few minutes, make that introductory comment, and then we will begin to bring up our panelists to say one or two things. And we'll be beginning with Ambassador Anderson Madubuike just shortly. So, my brothers and my sisters, the importance of this conference today cannot be overemphasized. And why it's extremely useful that we're seated here and talking, and not just talking for the sake of talking, but talking with actionable plans already laid ahead of us and ready for implementation. Because indeed, why we have come together is that we are set for implementing the OAAD 1000 co-author book project. But of course, let me emphasize that the book project is sorry, is it interfering? Is not sounding good? Is that sounding okay?
Yeah, the sound is okay. It's okay. It's
Is
okay.
everything okay?
Yep, it's okay.
The sound is okay here.
Please, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear
I can
you.
hear you.
Of
We
course,
can
I can hear
hear
you
Okay,
loud from
okay,
Nigeria.
that's great. That's great. That's great. Yes. So, bearing in mind the huge importance of this conference, is that indeed we are on our own, not just trying to do something or to do something that can make us feel good, but it's basically that we are set to make the change that we have to make by ourselves. Okay, now I understand. It seems like there's echo somewhere. Okay, so it must be better now. Yes, so making the emphasis that we are set to make the change that has to be made by ourselves, and making that change, knowing that we are the ones that should do this as African citizens, is of extreme importance. And indeed, this is what the rest of the world, or the whole world, is also doing. It's about engaging the citizens of various countries to drive what has to be driven in their own space, to ensure that their own lives get to be satisfied, to live as people that are able to solve their own problems and to drive their own progress. And indeed, we see that young people around the world do normally collaborate to bring to bear what they have to bring to bear in their various countries. Young people collaborate even as couples to bring in, to build the country in terms of making the country's population to remain constant. So when young people get married, it's actually one of the most basic collaboratory activities they do to be able to keep their countries working effectively. And we know some of the problems we have at the moment around the world, where population is declining. Most countries around the world, population is declining, particularly because in many of these countries, the young people seem to be unsure that they really want to, build families. But at least for now, as much as we know across Africa, young people are still willing to get married, to have children. And when they have not been able to get that done, they feel very uncomfortable. And of course, that's basically because of the cultural disposition, which is almost the same everywhere in the world. And this has made us to know again and again that even though it is very difficult to raise families, to raise children, young people everywhere still keep trying to do this because it is part of their civic responsibility, and also because it's part of what's expected according to the culture for them to be able to contribute to their country's progress in that way. And I want to say, using that same analogy, that what we are gathered to do and to do in the long term is actually a tough task. But even though it is tough, we are running towards it with confidence. We are not one of those who run away from danger. Rather, we are charging at danger. We are charging at that thing that is difficult to be done. We charge at it and we want to get it done because we know that we are the ones that should get it done. In our various families at this time, we find that we have become most of those who are the decision makers. And things cannot be done in our families without consulting us. We want to also communicate that in the years ahead, shortly from this moment, it is the same thing that will be happening across the continent, that we will need to take responsibility through collaboration to drive things at various stages. And these are things that are related to the theme of the conference. It's about collaboration, collaboration, and collaboration. And having communicated that, we have talked about the fact that we're going to have the 1,000 co-author research, the multidisciplinary book, which is coming. And after that, we're going to have another 1,000 co-author research article that we published in a journal that has almost 30 of an impact factor, almost 30. And we know what that means for a researcher, because it implies that if we have these two 1,000 components, it means that within 1 year, each of us should have at least 1,000 citations, particularly because of the nature of the book we are going to be communicating, the nature of the book we're going to share about. Its nature, which implies that it is something building on the system of helping us to restructure the current way that OAD is running. Because indeed, the chapters of each book, the authors who write each chapter will move forward to become research groups in OAD, and each research group is going to become a company. And after some years, each company is going to become a unicorn because of what we're going to be doing. And we have already put the strategies on ground. We're going to be partnering with governments of different countries to bring this to bear. And of course, our partnership with these countries will be that the focus of it is that we want to ensure that the human beings in Africa get to be empowered to bring on board their human potential towards pursuit of sustainable development on the continent, so that once again, Africa will not be left behind, as we have been left behind in many things of the past. So details of these things I'm saying, you can see subsequently on the website link that have been circulated and which shall be circulated as the event progresses. So to avoid taking much more time in that regard, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get into the panel conversation where we're going to hear from different panelists, and they'll be able to share their thoughts on the concept of collaboration and what young people across Africa and the older people are supposed to be doing for us to be able to actualize the Agenda 2063 and solve the various wicked problems that plague us across the continent. And resolving that, the evidence that will make us know that we have actualized the Agenda 2063 is when you wake up any day and you find that grandchildren across Africa are growing in Africa, and all grandparents are able to see their grandchildren anytime they want. Like, I want to give a practical example. Right here in Shanghai, where I live, we work very closely with a professor, now a retired professor. Now he is 90 years old. His whole family, he has 2 children, a son and a daughter. His son lives on the 12th floor. He lives on the 17th floor of a particular building, and his daughter lives just right above. And they work in the same company, so they can see themselves literally every day. And grandchildren can literally climb from the, they can just climb down or climb up to see their grandparents. The day you find that in Africa, that majority of young people who are having children, who of course are the basis of survival of the various countries, because economies run on populations. The day you find that these people are now growing up in the same place, and grandparents have opportunity of seeing their grandchildren grow right before their eyes and become what they're supposed to be, then you know that we have begun to approach the point of actualization of what we have come together to do in OAD. So please take note that we have not come together to publish papers, but publishing paper is something that helps us engage with high-end talents and help them set up the space through which they can begin to drive other spaces in the entrepreneurial and enterprise-related things. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you once again, and I appreciate your presence. As I want to call upon, if he is ready right now to speak with us, I will, as you've already heard the introduction through the video we played previously, I will want to call upon the first person who will address us and say something about collaboration and what its importance and how we can do it, and what how he is capable of collaborating himself, how he may have collaborated, or how countries collaborate as a diplomat to be able to communicate to us from his own perspective. I'm strolling through to confirm that His Excellency Ambassador Anderson Madubuike is in the house. I saw him previously. I hope he's still here. If he's here, he'll be able to take up the conversation from here. But if it's not, let's confirm, please. Your Excellency, are you here? Okay. It doesn't seem that he's here right now. So I'll call upon someone else to share thoughts. Like I said, what we are discussing, what is expected of each person to bring is, have you been, and each person will be speaking for just about 2 minutes at a particular time before you are called upon again. So what are the experiences you've had in terms of collaboration amongst African high-end talents, or whether African entrepreneurs or African researchers or Africans in various spaces? What are the experiences you've had? What are the challenges on ground at the moment? What are the benefits you have actualized or you have gotten as a result of collaboration? What achievements have been made from your own perspective in terms of what you've been able to actualize looking at that? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me call on the OAD Vice President for Eastern Africa, who I just want to confirm that he's on ground. Please, Dr. Ayugi, are you on ground?
Yes, sir. That is so soon. Yes, sir.
Okay, you will be coming up in just a moment. And let me confirm also, Professor Oyewale Tomori, he said he's going to join us shortly. He has a meeting, he had another meeting that will be ending soon. I don't know if he has come in already, but if he hasn't come in, we will definitely hear from Dr. Ayugi shortly. And because we're going to go according to what we have on the flyer, we just flow that way to engage and to have, just once you are called upon, you hit it. Like I'm aware, Dr. Ayugi made a lot of publications, jaw-dropping achievements in terms of collaboration, and we want to be able to hear from him to know how that has facilitated his engagement processes. So please, all panelists, be ready. I can call upon you at any moment, and you can actually decide to raise your hand to say something at any moment. And other people, all participants, please, everyone should be ready to say one thing or the other as it progresses. You may just be able to raise your hand, and I'll be able to call you. So this is just for today's fixture. Subsequently, we're going to be having other engagements and discussing these things. And of course, we're looking forward to October, when we're going to have a live engagement right here in Shanghai, and we're going to be engaging top government officials and other top agencies that are related to research, innovation, technology, and all of those things are going to be on ground for us to interact and see how we can present to them the capacities, the capabilities of African intellectuals. We have identified the problems in the world. In the book we're going to put together, we are going to, shed light on the problems in the world. We should also shed light on how the problems can be resolved, and we will show how we are capable of resolving them using the principles of sustainability linkages, innovation-packed component, which we're going to drive in just a short moment. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me now to call upon our brother, Dr. Ayugi. He has requested that he would like to share a 2-minute slide, and I think it's okay to let him do that. Please, Dr. Ayugi, if you unmute yourself, your name will pop up at the top, and you'll be made co-host, and you'll be able to share that slide. Please unmute yourself, and okay, and of course, that right now I've seen that. Now you are co-host, you may be able to share that slide as you just throw that on ground. So please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our brother, Dr. Brian Ayugi from Kenya, currently in South Korea. Over to you, please. You may share your screen.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and the respected assembly of OAD this afternoon, this evening, depending on where we are. I want to believe I can be heard at this moment.
Very clearly, yes.
Okay. Well, I think it has been, can I say I've been briefed and all that, but maybe I'll just try to make this presentation as brief as possible, irrespective of whatever. Well, I've not prepared so many things. I hope my slide can be seen at this
Yes,
level.
clearly. Clearly.
Well, thank you so much. My name is Brian Yugi. Currently, I'm in South Korea as serving as a research scientist. And just a very brief one, I want to make a presentation on the benefits that I've attained through the collaboration, thanks to OOAD. First of all, I just want to mention that I did my PhD in China. I graduated 2020, and then I proceeded to do my postdoc in the same university. And then from there in 2022, last year, I've been stationed in South Korea. And among many things, I just want to mention that collaboration as a framework for growth, as a framework of development, has been part of an essential growth for me. And I just wanted to list some of the benefits that I've attained based on the collaborations from the core researchers across DVIBE, that from the publication perspective, over the last 5 years, I was trying to look at my records. I noticed that from 2016 to 2018, I was able to attain just at least 2 papers, but from 2019 to latest 2023 August, I've had up to 60 papers based on the collaboration approach that we're using. And in this way, through the collaboration approach, I've also been able to learn so many new perspectives and complementary aspects in research. Literally, whether it is the computing skills I've known, I've learned them from a colleague in one way or the other, or I've heard about it, or I've been guided by someone whom we met through the aspect of research. And in this way, I've built a very much formidable friendships that transcends beyond academic transboundary that was birthed as a result of collaboration. Many of my friends from each and every region, from Nigeria, all the way to Southern Africa, to the north of Africa, to the East Africa, to Madagascar, across past beyond the African borders, in Italy, North America, and every perspective, I met them from this. And some of the relationship that we build in this has gone beyond academic areas, and we discuss some of the issues that are pertinent to our areas. And in this, I've also gained new ideas, some of the innovative approaches, and we're able to solve very interesting, complex scientific areas through continuous approaches of collaboration that we've done through this. And I want to also mention that from the collaboration that I met, assembling a team of researchers from each and every corner based on their strongholds, we were able to come up with a small consortium. We're calling ourselves that Climate and Environment Research Africa, that was developed due to the network of collaborations that we attained through this. But this journey hasn't been that smooth as it can be from area, because along the way, we've been facing the challenges, trying to work together. First of all, is some of the fading of the trust. In any case, a member has got some ulterior motive, which is always normal. Some have also faced unwanted jealousy that hampers the progress. Some team members can withdraw along the process, which is expected. In any case, there is a member that may want to venture into this approach. These are some of the challenges that we must foresee to happen in the process. And sometimes there's some unforeseen or challenges in terms of the delay that can make the process not being effective. And sometimes outside members who are skilled in one way or the other can get overburdened, and this can slow the process. And some of the cases that we've seen that when you do the collaboration among the expected challenges is that some members assigned the duties can even do some shoddy jobs, which will make the core or the team leader to do the repetition of the same, maybe case of plagiarism or poor articulation of their part. And in this way, for me, along the process that I've done the collaborations from 2015 effectively till to date, I've learned that one of the key lessons in this is for us to focus on our SWOT. Find a team that you'd identify based on their strengths, and then you complement on their weaknesses. For instance, I was putting this case like this, that in my case, if I look at my case, I'm good in writing. I'm good in trying to conceptualize the idea. I can review an article. I can do communications within, but sometimes, especially in the path of thermodynamics in my field of area, becomes a big challenge. And some of the areas that we can do in the work with the collaborations, I need people who are strong in data curations, in the methods and the dynamics. And in this way, we can supplement the area. And so to just make a summations of all this, I can say that anybody who might adventure or may want to venture into aspect collaboration, there is a need for us to define a target. We need to identify exactly what we want to achieve at this moment that we begin, make it as clear as possible. Then each and every member, if very possible, we should define their role from the beginning, who will do what at what level, and set a clear target timelines that this can be adhered for to ensure that we're deliverable. And there should be a constant communications, especially with the team leader, with each and every member, perhaps even on a weekly basis, following up on their areas, on their progress, and seeing the challenges they encounter along the process. And any team leader doing any collaboration approach, we must try to be flexible and encourage each other, remind them of the objective. And I wrote this deliberate to celebrate every achievement we attain, because in this we can make it possible. And so collaboration has remained to be very effective approach for us to achieve a rapid growth. And it can be a very sure strategy for us to attain even sustainable development. And above all, where possible, we are able to try to fight jealous spirit, because for me, these are some that has really dragged me behind to achieve this. And in all, whether you are dealing with, I've met strangers, almost close to 100 or so people that are new to me that I've never met personally, but I believe that trust remains the driving force to achieve an effective collaborations. I prepared this for those who might need to venture into this as an approach, just to encourage them from my own personal experience as we share on how to achieve multidisciplinary and multi-professional collaboration strategies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very, very, very grateful. Our brother, Dr. Ayugi, within about 4 years, 2019 to 2023, having published over 60 or approximately 60 research articles. So it's a huge joy to recognize this, and want to say congratulations as we move on with others as well. So yes, with that excitement, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome Dr. Ofodile. Are you in the house? Mavis Kolove, are you in the house? Okay, His Excellency Ambassador Anderson is just coming in right away. But I want to confirm, Dr. Mavis, are you here? Kolove. Hello, Dr. Mavis, can you hear me? Okay, I think His Excellency is in the house now. Your Excellency, sir, if you're ready to address us, the floor is yours right now, and I would just like to inform you about what the last person who spoke said. He informed us of very huge achievement made, wherein he was able to publish over 60 research papers within 4 years. That's a huge achievement, and we are celebrating that. But of course, he emphasized that it was particularly because of the collaborations within the organization and also beyond the organization. So please, Your Excellency, you're welcome. You may unmute yourself and take the floor. Tell us about diplomatic collaborations and things of that nature, and how we can make progress in this regard. Please, over to you, Your Excellency. If you're able to do that right now. And if you're not set to take it up, I can call on someone else and you come in just shortly after. Okay, Professor Ofodile, please, are you disposed to take your slot right now?
Okay. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. Thank you, Dr. Odi, for the opportunity, and well done for the good job for all the officials of OAD. We are seeing your good work, and thank you for the professor that just finished speaking right now. I haven't been able to publish as many as 50 articles in 3 years, but I just have a little contribution to make as regards collaboration. I realized that in Africa, including my country, collaboration has not been a tool that everybody or majority are making use of to advance one's cause. And I want to add that apart from personal growth and development in our career or whatever businesses we are doing as academia, collaboration also has a lot of contribution to make towards mentoring the younger colleagues in the system and making sure that the gains of the older colleagues in the institutions are being retained even when they retire or they are no longer in the system. So collaboration is very, very important. I've been able to gain a lot from the OAD collaboration or relationship. Within my own institution, we've been able to do a lot of getting of grants through collaboration, being able to select people who are relevant in whatever research or idea that one is able to bring up. I've been able to collaborate with someone in the US to do a research that was funded by Lagos State. Also, and we were able to write the paper. It took us some time because like the previous speaker said, some people are not able to meet up with the pace of some others. And these are some of the challenges facing collaboration. He's right there in the US in one of the universities. I'm right here in Nigeria. The work was done some years ago, but until 2020, before we could, because of the lockdown, we make use of the lockdown to write the paper. And the paper was published in a Scopus journal. And through collaboration also, I've been able to learn a lot, at least from the OAD platform, some of the skills in aspect of writing papers and some of the conferences I've been able to attend. So it's a very welcomed idea, and I believe that it's going to move not only individual countries forward, it's going to move Africa as a whole forward. Thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Professor Fodile, for that very beautiful input you have made. We appreciate that. The challenges that are around it. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind us that what we are pursuing indeed is not to publish the papers, but we're just talking about that because it's helping us put some structures in place. We're looking forward to something different. And we have the strategies, we know that we're going to get there. Okay. Yes, and that said, please, Dr. Mavis, are you ready to come on board now? Dr. Mavis? Okay, or maybe let me go according to what I see on my screen. That may be better than using the list. Okay, so let us hear from our sister, Linda. And of course, I'll just remind that we can all hit it very speedily so we can have multiple chances of sharing thoughts and also responding to what other persons may say. Okay, so please, let's hear from our sister, Linda, who is in Hong Kong. Please, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, good evening, depending on where you're listening from. So my name is Linda, and I would like to give my little idea. I don't know if I can be heard.
Yes,
Can I
clearly,
be heard?
yes. Yes,
Okay,
clearly,
thanks.
yes.
Yeah, so what I want to say is, so far, I would want to say thank you, Dr. Odi. Thank you for the OAD organizers, and thank you also for those who have spoken. Very well, all that you have said are very relevant. So for me, I would like to say that basically, we are the ones to tell our story and share our story. So I would like to go by the African, should I say, a proverb or adage that until a lion tells his or her story, the hunter will always believe or feel that he is the hero. So for me, dear brothers and sisters, OAD, the whole community as a whole, we are supposed to tell our story. Little or none is known about Africa. Most people still believe that Africa is still that dark continent, without that much cannot be known of, or maybe cannot contribute much to what is going on. So for me, I would want to say that this book chapter should be a medium at which we tell our story. So it will be like viewing Africa through African perspective. So we're telling our story. So on the long run, I know most people would want to input on the kind of things we would want to talk about in the book chapter, the kind of sectors we would want to maybe try to address in the book chapter. So for me, what I would want to start with, I can still come up again to talk, but I would like to keep it brief so that others can also have the space to talk. So for me, I would like to say in everything we do, we should always try to tell our story. It should always be the African story from an African perspective. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, our sister Linda. Good to have been able to hear from you. And please, ladies and gentlemen, permit me now to, of course, let me just mention also, as you may have seen in the introduction, Linda is the general coordinator of our OAD Masters Grooming Initiative, under which we are preparing hundreds of African master degree holders and master degree students who intend to go on to pursue a PhD. So it's our joy to be able to have her sharing thoughts with us. Yeah, and that said, please, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to call upon our brother, Dr. Hyacinth Namchi. Dr. Hyacinth, I don't know, maybe, I hope I'm not, it's maybe Professor Hyacinth, please. Let's hear from you. Professor Hyacinth has made very tremendous achievements in his field and is one of the leading voices across the globe. We didn't make a lot of introduction, but I just felt like mentioning that he's one of the leading voices. When I say one of the leading voices, you will know that that's what he is. And it's our joy to be able to have him. And also we have his contribution as he's one of those working with us in establishing the OAD journal, because shortly we're going to be having our own multidisciplinary journal to drive the space by ourselves. So please, Professor Namchi, it's over to you right now to share your thoughts with us.
All right, so thank you very much, my colleagues, my friends, my fellow African students, African scholars. It's my pleasure. I'm very happy to be in your midst today. Yes, so my name is Hyacinth Namchi. I was in China some years ago. I got my PhD from there. And I have to say, I'm a newcomer to OAD, but within a short time, I've interacted with the president and other people within the climate research group and a few other places. I can say that I'm really impressed with the ideals, the lofty ideals, the plans, and not just the ideas and plans, but also the actions already on ground. Yeah, so talking about collaboration, yes, I must say that I have benefited from collaboration internationally. I was involved with the last IPCC report, that is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, to produce the IPCC report that now serves as a reference point about the climate, how it has changed and how it's going to change into the future. I was also involved in ocean observing systems review. So the idea is basically that to look at the global ocean. Well, just to say that my area of research is climate and physical oceanography. So basically to look at the global ocean, different parts of the ocean, check where we have measurements, check where measurements are lacking, check what are the questions and what are the more observations we need in terms of instrumentations, in terms of geographical coverage, so as to improve observations or to close gaps in observations to be able to answer or the key challenge questions confronting our society at the moment. Then at the present, there's also another high profile collaborative work that is review, that is again looking at the global oceans and looking at the impact of the different parts of the global oceans on African climate, and so on and so forth. So probably just to keep it short and straight to the point, one thing I can say I have learned from the collaborations, or one experience I think will be relevant here, is that each of these will always try to figure out what is the big picture problem, what is the key challenge, or what is the key gap in science or in society that we need to close, and then try to go out looking for the competent hands from wherever they may be, who come together and then bring together their experiences, their expertise to put things together, and then things work effectively. So like I said, I'm new to OAD, and I hope to learn a lot from you guys going forward. And I'm also very happy to bring in my own experience to advance whatever we are doing. So thank you again for giving me the platform, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our brother Namchi. It's a joy to have heard from you, and you ended very well. You're happy to bring your own experience, your own network, your own resources to drive what we have to drive, because we are the ones to solve our own problems. Thank you very much. We strongly appreciate that. And then for the great job being done already in that regard. Yes, and that said, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that we're in good hands and we're making strong progress. Permit me to invite the next name I see on my screen that's going to speak to us is our brother Ahmed Omoni. Please unmute yourself and come on board. Ahmed Omoni, one of our panelists. Please, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Are you hearing me?
Yes, clearly, but we can't see you. If we can see you, fine, but if we can't see you, no problems. Okay, we can see you now.
Thank you very much for this. Thank you very much for this opportunity. It's a great privilege to be with this family. Wow, being a new member to OAD was a great pathway to learn for me. I was on transit to China when I stumbled into one of I think the last program around, was it around November or December? I was on transit. I've not even got into my school then. I was in quarantine then. So, and I joined this meeting, saw wonderful people, and I owed on to one of them, one of the speaker then, Dr. Olayinka is here. It's an experience I can never forget, and it's really worth it. And since then, less than a year in China, I have written manuscripts with people I've never met. I've never met them one-on-one, just through this media of OAD, and we've written manuscripts, SCI, that I've been in academics for a while in Nigeria, and I don't see myself getting it within that circle I found myself. And currently, I've written, with this collaboration I have with people, I've written maybe 8 manuscripts, 4 are out, and out of these 8, at least I'm first author in 3 of them.
Wow.
It's really, and not just writing the manuscripts, the skill keep improving at every new engagement. And I think it's something that will always co-opt people to come in and join the family of OAD. But not just joining, you have to be proactive, because these are things that you are not just learning how to write, you are also learning how to meet up deadlines. One of the person here that's engaged me a lot is Dr. Onome. He always keep me on my toes. Once I see his message like this, my heart go up. And I know I just have to meet up that deadline. And thank God I don't think I've disappointed him. And I wish I will still keep learning from many other people. I'm researching in material science, specifically polymer, and other maybe inorganic complexes, and other field in chemistry generally, and also green chemistry also. So I'm always open, and I hope that I will keep learning from people and also contribute my quota at every point in time. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Excellent, our brother Omoni. We are really grateful for the very strong experiences you shared. So yes, it's experience sharing. It's a testimony time. It's a time to share our thoughts about what we've seen, what's happening here. And the Onome he mentioned, Dr. Onome, just during his PhD, the time of during his PhD, he published over 50 research articles in very good journals. I hope I'm correct. Omoni, maybe you may have those figures.
You are. Yes, you are.
Yes, excellent.
Yes,
excellent.
very correct.
Yes. I know that Oderinde Olahika is also aware of that. He's Onome, our brother. I have also
that is published... our teacher. Dr. Olahika is our teacher here.
Okay, that's great. Yes, I have also been a co-author in one of the papers, even though I don't do too much of a collaboration these days in terms of academics, because my attention is more in administrative things about OAD and other things we're doing about driving the space on the continent of Africa. But I've been able to also partner in one of the papers, and one of the papers we published together has been spotlighted by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. That's a paper that's related to microplastics. We published in Science of the Total Environment, and that is one of the leading journals in the space. So it's a huge joy, and we hope to keep driving this. In fact, we don't hope, we will just keep doing it. And just to emphasize the implication of doing these things, like I know that these various persons, with the things they have, any door they knock at, it opens. In fact, even before they knock, the door, somebody from within the door is beckoning, please come over. So we have to, everybody, let's do what we can to be able to drive things of this nature. So thank you very much for sharing that experience. And we'll call on, right now, we would like to call on our sister, which name is close on my screen now, one of the panelists, our sister Amongin Sandra. I hope I pronounced that word well, your surname, Amongin Sandra. Please, the floor is yours right now, and you may come up to share your experience with us, whether within OAD or outside OAD. Please, Amongin, please, Sandra, please, over to you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Sandra. Can you hear me?
Clearly, yes.
Okay, yeah. So my name is Sandra Amongin, and I'm from Uganda. Currently, I'm doing a PhD at the Beijing Institute of Technology, and I'm doing my research on African space law. So the collaborations I have done have been with a few OAD members in the legal family, and also I've done some collaborations with some Chinese students. However, all I can say is, for now, we as African researchers, I feel like, or according to my experience, we do not have enough experience in doing research. And I think it's because we don't have the facilities, or we don't have the funding, or even we are not encouraged as Africans to get into research and all that. So my collaborations with the few African brothers and sisters has been a bit raw, and so that calls for a bit more research, because the more we do it, the more experience we get and the better we get. However, it's also opened up my eyes to the potential that we have as Africans, because most non-Africans I've interacted with believe that Africans are no-gooders. I think we've all had something like this before. Africans are no-gooders and all that. But then I believe that we as Africans are strong people, and we have the potential to improve ourselves, to do better, and do everything we can for the good of our land. So that is a positive that I've seen through the different collaborations. So the way forward for me is that we need to encourage more and more collaborations. And so I believe that OAD is actually a very good platform for us as researchers, because it's a family. And if there are some times when I was a bit stuck, and I got the help I needed from this family. So I believe that this platform is one of a kind, for African doctors. And the more collaborations we have, the more interactions we have with our African brothers and sisters, the more we get better. And in that way, we are able to tackle the problems that we face as nations, as Africans, and also as researchers. And also, there's also a problem with publishing African papers, or papers written by African scholars. That I've also experienced that. It's not very easy for us to get into the publication stream as African writers or researchers. So I believe that through this kind of collaboration, we are going to open doors for all of us as researchers, and also expose us to the world and our potential, change the narrative, change how they see us, change how they view us. And that way we shall be able to achieve everything we set out to. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for the platform.
Thank you, our Sister Sandra, for mentioning those very important points that we need to keep improving. And of course, that's why we're here. That's why we're making progress. Thank you so much. We strongly appreciate that. Yes. And that said, please, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite our brother, Aaron. Aaron, please, the floor is yours right now, and you can share your thoughts quickly. What have you seen in OAD, your experience, and all of that, so we can hit it and see, make further progress. Yes, you're up.
Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, according to the time zone where we are attending. To introduce my name, I am Aaron from Eritrea. So just to share my experience regarding collaboration, just as the name indicates, collaboration means working together with people from different areas of expertise or activity, or people to achieve some shared goal. So if you have a plan to achieve a certain goal, then we need collaboration. And then since we are coming from different perspectives, different areas of expertise, and then we can achieve our goal, I think, easily. So from my experience here in OAD, I have seen a lot of collaborations, and I have met a lot of people with different experience, from seniors and juniors. And then I have learned a lot of things, to share knowledge and resources. Sometimes you need some knowledge, some resources. Then due to collaboration, we have solved these problems, and even we have helped some people who need some help. So what I mean is collaboration is very important, because if you have collaboration, then so many things can be easily solved. So here in this collaboration, we have shared a lot of knowledge, a lot of resources, and a lot of skills. And this is very important, and we need to work together to grow it, to upgrade it to the highest level. So from this networking, I have published 3 articles, research articles, which are published in highly reputed journals. So I'm really happy about this. And we need to expand and work more about this so that we can improve our skills, we can share our skills, so that I think this collaboration is very important. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our brother Aaron. Really grateful for sharing your thoughts. You published 3 articles through collaboration in OAD. We are grateful, and we are happy that you shared those thoughts with us. We strongly appreciate. Yes, our brother Aaron from Aricha. So subsequently, as you come up, you mention your name, your country, just like he did. Please, and we will push it forward in that way. Yes, the next panelist that we're going to call upon is our sister Edidiong Atakpa. And just like I said, all panelists, get ready. You may be called upon any moment. And you'll be able to come on board to share your thoughts with us. Please, so our sister Edidiong Atakpa, Dr. Edidiong, if you're set, you may please come up. Dr. Edidiong? Okay, while she's coming up, let's welcome our brother Emmanuel Eresanya, who is currently in Ireland. Please, our brother Emmanuel Eresanya, thank you for the sacrifice of coming in. It's I think it's your work hours now. We're grateful that you were able to get on board. So please, over to you, Dr. Eresanya.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Odi, and good day to everyone.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be with OAD, and yeah, I've been with OAD for quite some times, and yeah, I would not like to talk about the collaboration aspect in terms of publication as it has gone all the way, but I must confess that we've had a review paper that we published in the Climate Research Group, and within a short time, we have announced a great citation in less than a year. So we are hoping that maybe by the time the paper will be a year, so we would have hit maybe 50 citations or thereabout. It's a great thing to have collaboration done. Yeah, having said that, I would like to say that collaboration itself is a two-edged sword. So it's a give and take to everyone. And no, it's not just only as researchers that need collaborations. And even as a business person, you need collaboration. I remember there was a lady that finished with 2.2 in Nigeria. She was seeking for master program in China. And ordinarily, let's say our grade would not actually help her to get the good scholarship that she wanted. When she approached me, I used my stand to speak with the professor. She got the best scholarship for the master student as a result of talking to to the professor and convincing her. She got it for 2019, but she couldn't come in. So she enrolled, she did all the programs that were done. She did the courses online. She made a distinction, 4.6 something CGPA. So as she couldn't enter China, she used the CGPA she got in China to get what's it called, to get a scholarship in the US. So our 2-2 was not being considered. It was the decision that she made in China that got her the PhD in USA. So that is another aspect to collaboration. So, you know, and when we are talking about collaborations, it could be that, okay, you trying to connect with someone that has an advantage in a place that you do not have the advantage, and he or she speaking for you. So each time she writes things to appreciate, you know, she's always saying, she said, I'm the game changer in her life. That was the word she used. But no, it's not just about the game changing, but it's about networking. And I must also tell you that, you know, after I got my PhD in China, I got a lot of postdoctoral position. That was before they got to know about my age. So after we have discussed, oh, your project is very good, we want you. How old are you? Once I tell them my age, oh, sorry, you are too old. We want somebody below 35 and below. So everything, so, you know, some instances, some people don't have position, but in my own case, I got like 3 or 4 in different schools, willing to take me in. I was stranded. But the place of collaboration with a friend that we've had, that we finished master together several years ago in Nigeria. Before then, I've told him, I've finished my PhD, I'm looking for a job. So he shared the advert with me, advert of where I am. It's quite competitive. About 30 persons were shortlisted for the interview, and here I am today. So I wouldn't have that information if not for the collaboration work that I've had with him, not in terms of research, networking, keep in touch, discussing research is my area of research. And when he got the opportunity, he shared with me, and I got the job. That's an aspect of collaboration. So we need to look outside just beyond publication. There are times that collaborating. Recently, I got some mails from some people from Kenya trying to come to my department here, and they got my profile in my department, and they sent me a mail. Oh, this is this, okay. I did what I could do. That's collaboration. I know another aspect of collaboration that we also need to look is in terms of projects. You know, the OAD Research Group recently won a project under the UN Ocean Program. So I must tell you that my professors at home also applied for the same project. But due to the collaboration and network within OAD and our presentation, what professors that taught me as an undergraduate couldn't get, there were guys that taught me as an undergraduate, but the OAD platform, we got it and we are partners to it. So we are not just playing a low-key role, we are co-PI. That's collaboration. So we need to know that as it is good for us to talk about paper, so we also need to push our collaboration to interpersonal relationship. I remember meeting Professor Asset in Germany. So when we got talking, he came to my poster and we talked, and before it all, I told him about OAD. He said, that he knew about OAD, but he thought it was just a PhD student thing. So we got talking that it's beyond that. We've had publications, and even beyond publication, we are now into projects. So that's the spirit of collaboration. If we are able to push the spirit of collaboration, we will be able to achieve more, and then more things will be on our path. So I want to encourage and speak to us all that we can achieve more through collaboration and through having the right spirit and right understanding about collaboration, that is not just about we harnessing resources to have the paper published, but also connecting with people that have gone ahead, and gone out of where we are. Many of our members are now in the US. For those about to finish their masters, you could connect with them. How can you be of help to me? How can you be of this? You need reference. some of these guys in the Western world want you to write, somebody already in the Western world to write reference for you, reference writing, so we could connect together. So, okay, because you have been together in OAD, those things can be of help. Speaking, reference writing, research publications, and the rest. So I wouldn't like to take much of our time, so I would just like to conclude on this basis to say that collaboration is a two-edged sword that is both benefiting to you and you too could also be beneficiary to others. And that has been well established by all the speakers. Thank you all.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, our brother, Dr. Eresanya. Really grateful for your inputs. He emphasized very salient points. And like some of the last components he mentioned, actually, I didn't know how powerful OAD is myself. Yeah, some people think I may know, but indeed I was not sure of how powerful. I just keep learning how powerful we are. Continuously, I see things happen and I say, whoa, so we could do that? So for us to be able to a co-PI organization for this United Nations top level entity or top level project, it's a huge thing. And I'm just so excited that we are able to have achieved that. And our brother who just spoke, Dr. Eresanya, is the co-PI, is the co-principal investigator, and the other professors here are also working within the same space. And ladies and gentlemen, it's my huge joy, huge pleasure to inform us that our father, very highly committed and passionate person who has been encouraging us in many ways, has just come into the house. And I'm just trying to confirm if he's ready to come up, because he is still in another meeting. I just had talked with him and he decided to come in to share some thoughts with us and move out again, and will join us subsequently. I'm talking about our father, as I mentioned, Professor Oyewale Tomori, who has just joined us right now from Nigeria, taking a little break from the meeting he's having at the moment. I'd like to call upon him to share thoughts with us right away. And once he's done, we'll continue with other conversations and move it forward. So please, sir, the floor is yours right now. Over to you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, distinguished future leaders of Africa. I'm talking in another meeting with the president of Africa, but the future is where I hope lies. And that's why I'm quietly ditching the other meetings. You're going to just come and say one or two words to you so that before I go back to the present. I want to thank the
Can we still hear him?
No.
It's like his network is not doing so well.
Leader of this group, coordinator of 1,000 co-authors. You are doing great things. All of we have done. Can you hear me? You can hear.
We just began to hear you again. We couldn't hear you several minutes ago, but we can hear you now. I'm trying to check. It seems we lost him.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can hear you now, sir.
I'm sorry, the internet is behaving like our government. Sorry about that. let me quickly talk before they cut me off again. So the distinguished young people and future leaders of Africa, I just want one message for you. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I was in a meeting in which we are talking about negotiation, new pandemic treaty. And there was this issue about a negotiation body, international negotiating body going on. As usual, an African is the deputy, but then we know where the power is. Since 1884, Africa has been negotiating from the point of weakness. And so when you go to a negotiating table and you come in as weak, and the other one comes in as strength, whatever you get out of that negotiation will never be to your benefit. For years, Africa has been at the one on the weak end. Take it wherever you go, United Nations and everything. That must change. And you are the one to change it. And why am I saying that? Let me give you a good example of United Nations. You think United Nations is the bastion of democracy, isn't it? I mean, that's where all of us meet, we take a decision and all that, and then we vote. But then subtly, they've reversed the vowels in votes. You know, O starts before E. They now put E before O, and it became veto. And so when you have veto in the UN, that knocks out all your votes. And that's the thing we have been negotiating with all since Africa came into it. We have been under the veto of those people, so that our votes mean nothing. And how do we get that? It is for us to go to that negotiation table and bring something to the negotiation table. Not we begging for equity. It is not that one. It is we using what we have, the untapped resources, the young people like you, the talents that you have, bringing it up into the fore, to be able to use it to challenge the existing situation so that you can have something to use to negotiate. A good example, India was like any of us. Yesterday, 2 days ago, you heard that India landed on the moon. Where have we in Africa landed? We have landed on the loo. And that is the problem. If we must move away from the loo to the moon, we must use what we have, the talents we have, the resources we have, the minerals and all those things we have, use it for our own good and use it as a bargaining chip to move forward. 1947, India was begging like any of us. Today, the whole world goes to India to get their vaccine. And let me quickly leave you because I said I must leave you and go, but I'm just trying to charge you. Don't wait for my generation. Move on and do what you need to do. You have all the resources, and we go ahead and do it. And let me leave you with one last example, which I wanted to talk to you. You remember during the COVID, when there was vaccine and no vaccine, and we are accusing. So let me tell you the narrative and see the way Africa comes from the weak point. Africa came around and started accusing the Europeans of hoarding the vaccine. And so they were doing this is racism, this is whatever. But let's take a look at that story. Suppose we reverse the situation. Suppose it was Africa where we were all dying of COVID. And suppose it was Africa that had the vaccine, developed the vaccine, and Europe didn't, we're not dying there. If Europe asks you for vaccine, will you give it to them before you take care of your own people? No. So why are you accusing the Europeans of taking it, of hoarding the vaccines? They had more problem than you have. They had the vaccine. You didn't have as much problem as you said, and then you're calling them racist. And then remember, when those vaccines were being made, when A, B, C, D, nobody knew which one was going to work. So countries that were proactive, that care about their people, brought up A, B, C. Why? In case A doesn't work, B will work. If you know B doesn't work, C will work. What was Africa doing? We were waiting and watching. So now they got, luckily for them, all the vaccines worked. And then they were good. We kept using it for their people, and then you're accusing them. I give that example. Suppose we reverse the situation. Will Africa have given the vaccine to the people? Then let's move on to the next issue. The next point, which I want to use was about that. When Britain and those European countries decided that if you did not use their vaccine, whether you're using vaccine from India or not, you could not come into Britain. You had to go into quarantine. But anybody using the vaccine from Europe would just walk in straight. They did that to us, and what did Africa do again? We shouted, oh no, after all, you gave us money to make this COVID vaccine. We are not using it. I say we cannot come in. Of course, yes, they gave you money to make they have control over what is. What did India do? India did not beg for any.
Hello, can we still hear anything?
No, please.
Okay.
No, please. I think that its network is bad.
Okay, it's like network has behaved badly again, but I think we have picked the message. We have picked the message. I'm scrolling to check whether he's still here, but if he's no longer here, we will just move to another person. Okay, it's like the network took him out, and it was just a good time because he had said he wanted to move on to continue with the meeting. And as you heard him say, in the meeting with some African presidents. So, and he's not there maybe as someone that is begging or trying to, okay, I think he's coming back in. He's coming back in. So let's just allow him to come in. So he's coming in still. So he's not at that meeting trying to beg or trying to get attention. These people are these presidents or various persons, they need his attention. And like I've told us again and again, OAD is going to be operating as if we were a country. We're still looking forward to his landing. He's trying to join, I can see it. So we are going to be operating as if we were a country. Okay. And if we can just make sure, like even if it's the number of people who are here right now, if we make sure that we take this organization seriously, many people are looking up to us. You know, many people are looking up to us. And we must be able to rise up and take responsibility. Many of these older people who we interact with, they are saying, please, move on. Don't wait for us. We have tried our best. It didn't work. We believe in you. We will support you. We will do whatever we can to support you. So, so I call upon us to understand what the kind of privileges we have. We are not begging anybody for money. We are not trying to look for favor. What we are saying is we are competent young Africans. The world is in trouble. We have solutions to the problems. We are strong researchers. We can find out problems. And if you meet anybody who is able to define a problem well and conceptualize it correctly, then that person may actually have the capacity to be able to solve the problem. So I think our daddy is back in the house, and I will leave the stage for him again. Or, okay, he's not back. He's not back yet. Okay, I think he was trying to join. Let's see whether it works. But just before he comes in again, hopefully, I have sent him a message saying that, you know, the network is giving some challenge, and I will be looking forward to having him come in again. Okay, he's still trying to join again. Let's see whether it works. Sorry, please, ladies and gentlemen. We are building the little foundations that we have to build, and we have the support of very important people in different places. So let's be encouraged. and keep working. Okay, he's back in. Sir, please, the floor is yours. Over to you. Please continue. We noted the internet behaved badly again. Please, over to you. Continue, sir.
Stop this.
Okay, we just began to hear you. Please continue. We can't hear you any longer. If you can hear us. So sorry, the internet is behaving badly. One day we will have you face to face, hopefully as soon as possible.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes. Please proceed, sir.
Looks like I'm unmuted. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, distinguished audience. I said I'm just returned from the loo, which is where I should not be. I should be on the moon. So you be on the moon and get out of the loo that will put you into. Use your talent, use your resources to make Africa what we should be. I won't be able to talk too more than that. Sorry about that. I think the internet is playing up again. Nobody wants, the government doesn't want me to say what I'm saying, but that's okay. I hope you heard what I said.
Yes, sir. We've heard some of the things you said, and one day we're going to be able to
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you partly.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you
partly. Hear me?
Can others hear me? My response to him?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, great. Good. Prof, we can hear you. Can you please go ahead, try if you can still. I heard him saying that maybe the government doesn't want him to finish what he's saying. Yeah, because indeed, he has been literally a warrior. Okay, it's like the internet knocked him out again.
So as we can see, Mr. President, this is among the challenges we have.
I'll be with you, don't worry.
Okay.
I know I'm talking. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, go ahead, sir. It's like we can hear you now. Try again, sir.
No, I'm just saying that, let me conclude because I have to go to the other meeting. But just
Okay,
to
sir.
say that I said I was just coming from the loo where I shouldn't be. I should be on the moon. So
Yes.
don't join me in the loo. Use your talent to go to the moon for the sake of Africa. Over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. What a closing remark. Please come back after the meeting, or maybe we may still be here. Please come back again. And we are hoping
I'll check back.
Yes, please. And we're hoping to bring you face to face in a conference, or we'll bring the conference to where you are, and you bring your other big people, and we have the conversations so that we can tell you what we're capable of doing, and we'll begin to do because we have already begun and there is no stopping. So, sir, please be encouraged. Do not cry anymore. We are going to make the change necessary. We have already made the sacrifices we have to make, and we are ready to make more sacrifices. So please look forward to great things. In your lifetime, you will see something different in the continent of Africa. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for the encouragement. I'm growing younger now by your statement. Thank you. I hope when you see my face, you will like my face.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Looking forward to having you again. It's all right, sir. Thank you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Professor Oyewale Tomori, for you, very humorous man, very always top-notch and ready to communicate what needs to be communicated. You cannot be with him and you will not be encouraged to do what you have to do. So we hope to have him back on again, sharing thoughts with us. And as I said, we are planning a very important high-level conference, which hopefully we're going to have all African ambassadors here in China. most possibly in the next 2-3 months, we're going to have this conference. And during this conference, we're going to have the handover ceremony of the current OAD Executive Council to hand over to new leaders. So we're doing big things and there is no stopping. Nothing can stop us. And you can see we have support. And permit me to bring the apologies of His Excellency Ambassador Anderson Madueke, the High Commissioner of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to Australia. Let me bring his apologies. Those who joined earlier saw him. He was with us here, but he has had difficulties joining because he got news of a loss. He got news of a loss just while he was trying to get in. He lost a very dear one, and he recorded a voice message apologizing, sending his apologies, asking me to share his apologies. Let me see if I can play a bit of that, and then we'll be able to move on to call another person. So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if we heard the voice of His Excellency Ambassador Anderson Madueke sharing his thoughts about apologizing and communicating the loss. We condole with him and the family for the loss. And we hope to definitely, we're going to have him again come with us. He is one of us. And he is always willing and ready to communicate and engage and support in whatever way he can. So please, thank you once again. And I hope we are still internalizing the beautiful words of wisdom we just received from our dear father, Professor Oyewale Tomori, who is one of the members of the World Health Organization expert committee on COVID-19 vaccine. And he used it very clearly to communicate to us some of those things that needed to be communicated. And my brothers and my sisters, I want to assure you, like you heard him say, he's in meetings with some African presidents, and we are going to have, like I told us, we'll be having some of these presidents engage with us again and again as the years unfold. But I want us to have this mindset and understand that actually they are the ones that need our help. We are the citizens. We are higher in number. We have the thousands with us. And we are the ones to make the change. We are the ones to drive the change. We are young, we are energetic. We have the competencies. We have what it takes to make anything happen. And like I emphasized from the beginning, peradventure you were not here at the beginning, we, through the 1,000 co-author paper, we're going to have a reshuffling or a restructuring of the OAD research groups. Each research group will write one chapter. And the criteria for, I don't know if Mujtaba is here, I could ask him to share with us. Maybe I don't have to, let it not be like I'm saying everything about the book and all of that. I could have someone else who I have shared with to share his understanding, and that may help us. Okay, Mujtaba is not here at the moment, but hopefully, or is he here? Mujtaba, are you here? Okay, Mujtaba is here, not here now, but hopefully he will come in shortly and he will share his thoughts with us. So please permit me to call upon the next person who will share with us, as we are just about spending the next few minutes hitting this hard. Please permit me, if you can make more time, let's hang in here and share these thoughts. And as I said, if this number of people here right now are ready to drive, there is nothing we cannot drive. There's nothing we cannot achieve. And I want to assure you, we are not trying to see whether it will work. What we are doing will work. And anybody in OAD will continue benefiting from OAD. You can never outgrow this organization. The higher you go, the more relevant and more important the organization will be to you. Because we have what it takes. We're intelligent, we are hardworking, we don't sleep. Of course, we're trying to sleep, and I encourage us to be sleeping. But a time is coming when we'll be able to sleep with our eyes closed. Now we sleep with our eyes open. And because when somebody tells you I published, like Dr. Yugi, over 60 papers in about 4 years, 2019 to 2023, which is not over. So we can call it 3 years, over 60 papers. When somebody says that, you know what that means. You know what happens, in terms of the peer review and all those things. And of course, we have people who are running companies. Remember, we said every research group in OAD is going to become a company. And taking advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area, within a few years, each research group which has turned into a company will become a unicorn. That means each one will be valued at over $1 billion. That's what a unicorn, as we know, is. And as it moves from that point, we will, with those companies, they are going to become conglomerates, because actually in every African country, we are going to have one city, one innovation city established. So brothers and sisters, we're going to have 55 cities across Africa. We're going to have 55 universities across Africa. We're going to have 55 African cultural product factories across Africa. We're going to have 55 secondary schools, groups of secondary schools, groups of primary schools, giving scholarships to young children who are innovators, who are capable of thinking innovatively. We train them on the principles of innovation early, very early in their lives. We'll pick them, we will give them all the resources required, we'll push them forward, they will think out solutions so that Africa will begin to contribute not just natural resources or natural resources to the world, because much of the resources being used to drive things here and there across the world are coming from Africa. We want to contribute more. We want to optimize the human capital resources of the African people, and we are the ones to drive it. We want to set up the foundation. We want to set up the space that's going to make this happen. It's not tough to do it. 55 cities, 55 countries, 55 cities in each city, university, and all those things in there. We're going to have 55 organic farms and groups of farms, because in the city, all the food that will be eaten there will be produced in the city. We have already had relevant conversations with some strong internet service providers that will use the satellite to provide us internet, so we'll have strong internet. The United States, is the biggest economy in the world. China is the second biggest economy in the world. These two countries are doing the same thing. They are engaging their citizens. The United States invested $45 billion just recently, from 2022 into 2023, by the Biden-Harris administration. What do they want? What do they call it for? It's internet for all. What's the reason for that? They are saying we want to make sure that our people are able to access strong internet so that they can be strong players in the current global digital economic space. So I feel really excited, because again, every day I am constantly being stimulated, and I understand more and more of our capacities and abilities. We can have interacted with over 1,000 of us inbox, and I know the passion we carry. I know the resources we have at our disposal. I know what we can do. So sometimes when I say something, some people say that this thing is not likely possible. I don't blame you. You don't know what you are not aware of what we have. So, and it's not your fault. So it's fine. But over the years, you'll get to see. And when you see, you will understand better. And you will be even more convinced than I am. I have seen some people who are getting more convinced about what we're doing than I am. The leaders of OAD, I've seen people who are ready to make sacrifices that you cannot imagine. So I know what we're doing is going to work. This is our own way of saying that we deserve to be alive, and our children deserve to live, and that we deserve to be with our parents. We deserve to be close to them. They deserve to be happy. So my brothers and my sisters, what we're doing is not a short-term thing, it's a lifetime project. And that's why I keep telling us, please never say, I'm too busy. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. You cannot be too busy to survive. However busy you are, it's because you want to survive. And if you want to survive, you must be able to work together, to collaborate. So, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, let me call on our sister. Her name comes up here. I know she came in just shortly. She's not aware. Let me not call on her right now. She's not aware that we're just calling on people to talk any moment. I'm talking about our sister Victoria Uyanga, Dr. Victoria Uyanga. So possibly let's have our sister Eunice. Our sister Eunice, Dr. Eunice Yogri, if you're disposed to jump in right now, it will be over to you. Our sister Eunice, please, you may unmute yourself and come up to share your thoughts. Of course, we'll be able to take questions subsequently, shortly after now, and we hope to keep making things move. Please, Dr. Yogri, please, over to you.
All right. Greetings to everyone. Greetings to everyone from Ghana. Here, everything is okay. And I hope everything is okay wherever you are also. I've been following this discussion since the inception of the Zoom meeting. And I'm proud to say that I'm always happy to be associated with OAAD. Since the inception. I'm happy to still be with OAAD. What I have realized is that sometimes people collaborate because they have, please, can you hear me?
Yes, clearly. Although the internet was misbehaving a little, but we can hear you clearly now.
All right. So they start to collaborate because they want to meet a certain deadlines, or they want to meet certain standards. And when that is done, they cut off every collaboration. It's not sustained. So I want to say that if we are starting collaborations, even if we have targets that we are setting for ourselves, maybe is to facilitate our graduation or to facilitate our promotion as academicians. When we are able to meet or hit those targets, let's continue with the collaboration. Let's sustain it. That would build more friendship and cement every really with other or brother collaborators. And I want to agree with Professor Loretta and then Sandra in terms of Africa. We are not so much enthused with research. So you come to Africa, nothing is being done, especially from the government's perspective in terms of funding for research. So we are always relying on the Western world to research, and then we use that as basis for us to take a step. But in as much as we can use those ones as basis, we can also start localizing our research in order to know what is happening. If you want somebody to write your story, then be prepared to have it being diluted, because you are not the very person telling your own story. So if we are coming up as OAAD, let's try to break all barriers and engage with necessary stakeholders to be able to continue with the research. And try to change the appropriate collaborators for some areas. For instance, I've been in China for 7 years. Hardly have I ever come across someone who is into slum upgrading or urban and rural planning. So if you don't have a wider touch area, line with whatever you are doing, then we can spread or propagate this to others so that we can have a close relationship with them to be able to progress. But in all, I want to commend you for trying to build Africa. Our forefathers did it, but they are not here for us to follow suit, but they've set the pace for us. And I'm sure and then be happy of what we have done so far. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Eunice. Really, really, really grateful for that very insightful inputs, or those very insightful inputs. Let me mention to us, ladies and gentlemen, that Dr. Eunice Rogri was one of those who joined the OAD when it was just an idea being described. There was nothing on ground. She's a member of the OAD resident think tank, a group of 20 people who volunteered to work on the establishment of OAD. And we were having meetings for almost 6 months, literally almost every day. A lot of sacrifices went into it, and which is why I'm very sure that the organization will survive for a very long time, possibly forever. Strong foundations have been laid. And this group of people are constantly, they are permanent leaders of the organization, working behind the scene to ensure that everything is stabilized. They know the nitty-gritties, they know why we are together, and they know what we're doing. So she is the secretary of the OAD resident think tank. She was one of those, as I said, that came on board when there was nothing on ground. OAD was just being communicated as words, as ideas. She was one of those that volunteered. And I'm also excited to announce or to mention that she is currently contesting as to serve in Ghana as the vice president. Dr. Eunice is the vice president of University Teachers Association of Ghana. The vice president, right? Or president? Dr. Eunice, which position are you contesting? Is she still here? Okay. Okay, she's muted. So she's contesting, and we wish her all the success that she can get. Hopefully she gets the position, and it's because I've worked with her over and over again. I've seen the concept and the capacity she brings on board, and we wish her all the best, that she's able to get the position and use it more to serve the University Teachers Association of Ghana over there in the country. Wish her all the best. So, brothers and sisters, please permit me to invite our next panelist, Dr. Benita Odi, who is a postdoctoral research fellow at Fudan University in Shanghai. Please, over to you if you're ready to get on board. Over to you to share your thoughts.
Good evening, good morning and afternoon to everyone, wherever you are. I am Benita from Nigeria. I have followed through with OAD from the scratch and seen how it has developed over time. I'm very excited about how far it has come. My experience with the issue of collaboration. First of all, one of us has tried to define collaboration, and whatever the definition we have, we hold, doesn't really matter. What matters the most is what we bring into the collaboration. So it's how you are able to bring yourself, your expertise, your knowledge, everything into your sharing with other people. So basically with the OAD, I am with the linguistics group. We had begun our work, but so far it's been stalled, but we are hoping that very soon we can continue what we have begun. We have 3 papers drafted and working for a while. We haven't completed, but it has been wonderful working with the number of people. There's the openness, there's a willingness to work. The only thing is that many of us are very busy. And I hope before the year runs out, we are able to come up with something useful. Now, before coming into the OAD, presently I'm in a research group where we have varied specializations in environmental management. So we have people working in climate change adaptation, urban planning, rural development, sustainable remediation, and so on and so forth. So you find yourself sitting in the center of several researchers with different fields and having to contribute in these various fields. Although I haven't published several papers with them, but you find that you are doing a lot of learning and stepping into fields that you have no prior knowledge of or previous knowledge of. I had a knowledge of collaboration basically from Nigeria, where I worked. I worked as a teacher, a lecturer in the University of Nigeria, so from linguistics department, and I learned a lot from that environment. You are the ones to chart the course for yourself as a researcher. So you have the senior lecturers who are willing, for some who are willing, while some others are ready to push you off. But when I found out that there is this level of competition there, I decided to gather some of my female colleagues and some of the younger males around us to do some work together. Then the first few periods we worked, I found out that you cannot work without a direction. So what our previous, the first speaker had said about having a leader, and the leader should go about reminding, I think that's Dr. Ayugi, having a leader and having to direct, the leader having to continuously remind other group members of what to do and be on his feet or her feet to make sure the paper is worked on and published was something I learned the hard way. So for the first period I got them together, they were excited, but excitement failed because there was no particular direction. But when I got this understanding, I began, and I keep saying to anybody I'm going to work with, write the vision, make it plain. If it's not plain, people cannot read, people cannot run. So surprisingly, that principle is contained in the scriptures. So, well, sorry, for Christians. Yes, so that has been a guiding principle for me. If I'm going to work with anybody, there should be a direction. What's my direction? Where am I going? Okay, if I know where I'm going, I need a leader. Who is this leader? Is the leader a proactive person? Is the person able to sustain the conversation? So when we try to hand it over to someone and the person is not working, we gather together again and assign. And back then, I didn't have so much knowledge in SSTI publications, but we had, through that little group, published not less than 8 in our local journals back home. So, and recently, there was a particular paper we went to a conference with. We presented. After the presentation, people were asking to know how they can access the paper, and we hadn't developed it for publication. So we tried several times, sent it out, it wasn't published. But recently, though still in a local journal, I just found out that the same group of guys, I'm no more there, I haven't been there for close to 6 years now, have published it, and has been published this year. So collaborations work, especially if you have direction, you have a director who is willing to help out, make sure these things work. And then how do you have the direction stated out? Oftentimes, if you are from a multidisciplinary, you are in a multidisciplinary group, it's usually tougher, but it's not hard. It's not too hard to do. Just write out, if possible, the research gap or research question you want to see to its finishing, or to its address, to address your research question you want to address. Then you write a summary, kind of an introductory summary for it. Then provide a literature or a theoretical framework that you hope to use to address these research gaps. Possibly the methodology in brief terms. When you have all these things well structured, the introduction, the literature review, the methodology, and possibly a proposed finding or proposed findings, you find out that people are put in what they call it, a boundary there's a boundary so that people do not veer off to different places in the research. So finding out this helped me a lot with them back home, because we didn't have a direction initially, it dragged us. But when we finally found a direction, we began to keep ourselves within that boundary. Now, coming to what we're doing in OAED, if we can adapt this kind of strategy, we did it in linguistics group, although we haven't published, but I believe that should be a good way to get people abreast with what you are trying to put forward, especially if you want to work with people whom you have never really worked with. Come up with your idea, the research gap, possibly theory, but you give in being a director or a leader of a group, you should be open enough to receive what I call it, new insights and ways of researching. So that helped us because I was in linguistics and those group of persons were in linguistics, and especially in applied linguistics, the field I was interested in. So all of them were interested in that. So it made it easier for us to collaborate. So, but if you are from different fields, then there is need for you to be wider. I mean, you had to be wider, open enough to receive from others what they are coming in with. But there must be timeline. There must be a direction. There must be a director who takes into account the things that are going on. If not, you will have your research going for a longer period of time. So this is all I wanted to say about collaborations. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really grateful for it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Dr. Odi, for the very insightful thoughts shared with us, the coordinator of our linguistics unit on the Lusophone research. They have made significant progress and we're looking forward to more progress in that regard. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, please permit me now to quickly invite our brother, Favour Oyelami, who is at the Australian National University, Biomedical Engineering. Please, over to you, Favour. Thanks for the sacrifice you've made to still be awake till this time. This is almost 1 a.m. in Australia.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity. And I've been enjoying myself. I think I'm fired up. I kind of missed this meeting because I was also in China for a while, like 3 years, I think. And also was there when the whole thing started. And it's been a blessing. So for me, I just just my thoughts. You know, for me personally, I've learned a lot from Oye and back then. I remember, we had this opportunity where you have issues, you have questions, and then you call me, this and that. And people were quite helpful. They go all the lengths, and during my research then, people were very, very, very helpful. So I think this is the kind of environment that we want. When I moved to Australia, that's like the first thing I actually missed, because I couldn't really see. I think when I started at my place at John Cotton School of Medical Research, I was the only Black person that I saw myself. So I missed those vibes. I missed those ginger. Sorry to use those words, we're all Africans, so I'm going to use those non-academic words. So I missed those things when I got there. So I would say these are the things that the OAE&D provides. So for me, I had an agricultural background before moving into biomedical science. And I love how Professor Tomori mentioned the fact that during the COVID issue, we're waiting for them. And actually, this was one of the things that drove us to writing one of the first COVID paper in 2020, because we realized that most of the other Western countries were busy, trying to solve the problem, while we Africans were waiting for the Messiah to come save us. So there wasn't even much information from Africa, and then we put out stuff, we did some analysis, and which we've had many citations on that paper. And then from that, we started seeing other people, publishing papers too. And coming to talk about that, and I remember someone mentioned the publication of papers, and when we did that, we published it in one of the top journals in the world, and we publish it for free. And these are like opportunities that we can make use of, because when we do stuff on Africa, when we do stuff that are actually pressing issues, there are ways we can also get opportunity to publish papers without having to break the bank for it. So and also one of the suggestions that I actually have in mind is if those opportunities, people outside, some of us have opportunity to have access to some of those opportunities where people can publish and so on. If there's a database where people can access those information, or where there's a mailing list where people can have access to those information, and then they can also publish their papers, because that's opportunity for them for their research to be documented. I think that will go a long way to help. For me personally, I moved to biomedical science because when we look at Nigeria now, we'll probably have just one or two major biomedical company that's doing sequencing of animal of African genome. And from the whole medical stuff, Africa has maybe about 1% of their or 2% of their genome represented in biomedical research. So it means that most of the drugs, some of the drugs that is being produced, some of the therapeutic treatments, they are based on maybe European genome. So sometimes it might not actually work for us. And with the growing stuff, there might be things that were coming up later, about antibiotic resistance and everything. So if we don't own up to some of these things and fix some of them right now, when those issues comes, then it will be a big challenge in the future. So I'm hoping that in the nearest future, there will not just be academic collaboration, there will be a kind of translational research, so that people are working in the middle of academia and industry. Because yes, we're going to publish papers as a kind of information, people know what has been done, the future perspective. But also, I believe that one thing that stand out with OA and this, that it's not just about talking, it's about talking and doing. So we want to be able to translate those research into something that actually that can actually be used, that people can actually see that this is working, and then we identify a molecule that can be used to develop a drug or something. So that's my own vision, and I believe that when we come together like this, it is an opportunity for us to get revived and refired again. Just like when Professor Tomari spoke, there was something that leaped up in me. I'm like, this is something we're talking about, right? Because I'll just end it with this, because yes, we are human beings, we are researchers, we are human beings too. We have our personal problems and family, everything. But I just want to say that in search of those greener pasture and balancing and everything, we should just try as much as possible not to let go of that dream, not to let go of that vision. Because yes, you probably get yourself in Canada, just hustling for shift, you're hustling for, you understand what I mean? Sometimes you lose the vision. So because we're all created uniquely and we've got a purpose to fulfill. So as much as possible, we should hold on to that. So that would just be my own contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our brother Favor. Really, really grateful for those deep words. He hit something really tough, something really big. Many of these drugs being developed may not work for us, because when genome or gene-related medication are precise, they work under precision. And if it's not what it's developed for, it may not work well for it. So we have work to do. There's so much to be done. So, and of course, people in biomedical engineering and all of that. So when we begin, like I said, each research group is going to become a company. So please, my brothers and my sisters, for those who are here at this moment, like the last speaker, Dr. Benita shared with us, the emphasis was about having leadership. And I see chats in the chat box emphasizing those, having leadership to provide direction, to provide cohesion, and to ensure that things are moving in the right direction. If you are here and you would want to be leader of a research group, if you want to benefit from what is happening in the house, please prepare yourself. Begin to prepare yourself so that we can plan around it. If your research area, if you indicate and you are the only person indicating in your research area, you will automatically be appointed to take over that research area. If there are more than one person, that indicated interest, one of them can become coordinator, another one becomes assistant, another one becomes secretary. We have 3 leaders per group. And if there is any difficulty or maybe having too many people, we could either create other positions. Anybody who has willingness to lead and to make things happen, we will create a space for you. That's what we assure us of, because that's what's happening around the world. People are given opportunities to explore and to expand their possibilities. Let me not speak further on that. Let me call the next person on the list. According to what I see on my list here, let's try to make it as speedily as possible. Please, Dr. Victoria Oyanga, you may be in the flow now of how we are moving. Your name is the one that comes up next. If you're disposed, you may please share your thoughts. Dr. Victoria Oyanga is in the United States of America, as a postdoctoral research fellow. Please, if you're up for it now, you may take it up. Dr. Oyanga is also the financial secretary of the OAD Global is the financial secretary. Yeah, we welcome you. It's our joy to have you. Please, over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can I be heard?
Clearly, very clearly.
So good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Once again, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to join up with you guys and share. And apologies for coming a few minutes late. I actually had to shift my morning class to also make time for this. But I believe so much has been shared. We've heard the narrative and everything that has come in together, just making this whole organization work together. OAAD is bringing persons from different skills, just bringing us all together. And in the last few years that we've worked together, we've had so much breakthroughs. Learning that Dr. Yugi has almost more than 50 papers just from OAD, that's amazing. And I also got to hear Prof. Tumari speak, Dr. Benita, Eunice, as well as Dr. Favor. So all those things are just things that gladdens my heart that even as a group, as individuals coming in with different skills, we've been able to achieve so much. But one of the things that actually struck me from the conversation so far is that beyond these academic collaborations that we get to make, we also need to look at how we get to translate it. That's one of the things Dr. Favor pointed out, that we need to look for how we can make these things more practicable and applicable to us. We know we still have Africa as a context in mind, because regardless of all these things we are doing, we still have to contribute so much to our home country. And that's one of the things that I would like to also draw attention back to. We have the Paper to Product Initiative, thanks to Mr. President and the OAD Excos, where that came in place to help us maximize our research output towards more of goods and services. And those are still things that is still in the talk, is still in the process, but we've had some initiatives stand out from that. So collaboration is good. Personally, I'm a beneficiary of it. Most of my top collaborators and the review teams I've worked on have been from OAAD. I think that also brings me back to the very first of persons that I met, and I also brought into OAAD. That was from the 3rd Rascal conference we had at Hainan. I think from there, I got in contact with more than 40 scholars, and most of them are still part of OAD till date. That was a massive breakthrough for us. But from those persons that I met then till date, I still have my top collaborators from those people that I met at that place and that team, and all of them are Africans. And even as at date, one of my most highly cited papers is as a result of collaboration from my colleagues with OAD. So these are, I can't even go ahead to continue mentioning the benefits of collaboration we've had. But my concern is, aside from maybe the number of papers we are getting from these, we need to also go deeper. We also need to push in more into the goods and the products and the services that can be derived from collaboration. And you may say, my group, we're having issues and everything. Another thing that also brings me joy is the fact that Mr. President mentioned coming to the 1,000 co-authorship that we're working with is going to be starting from the grassroots, which is the different research groups that we have. So that's another prompting that if you are not part of a research group, this would be the right time to join up with one. I'm part of the Agri Research Group. I work with Dr. Kojo, and it's been a wonderful journey so far. I won't say it's been rosy. We've had our bumps, and currently we are still trying to finalize on one of our works. We have our issues, we have our challenges, but just coming together, having people with different skills, different knowledge, expertise, and I'm seeing on the chat, persons are looking for maybe opportunities, postdocs, so many things, scholarships. Your research group is a good platform to get access to all those things. I don't really know much more about genetics now, but in my field, if I need someone that can assist me with genetics or biostatistics or my research group, I can get the resources and the help that I need from there. So this is still me trying to say that yes, collaboration is good, but working with our research groups, we have like a direct pool of top-notch research scholars we can access from at any point in time. Some of these persons are people that if you want to meet directly, you may have to fix appointments and so many things. But just imagine being on a WeChat group with those people. You can easily access, and that's one of the blessings that comes from being part of OAAD. So many things has been said, I've mentioned before. And another angle of discussion I'd also like us to address is the challenges that come with these collaborations. Yes, we have things, we have issues with the different research groups and all that. But I think there's this thing that we call, like in my OAD, we call it Ubuntu spirits, okay? That's what defines us as Africans. So you wouldn't say, oh, we had issues with research group and so I'm leaving and things like that. No. We just keep on pushing, we keep on moving forward and we keep on making progress. I think at the end of it all, that's what defines us as Africans and that's what defines us as OAD that we are. So basically this 1,000 co-authorship that we are heading to, we are all moving in hands on deck or hands on where, but we are all moving with full force. And I want each and every one of us to bring in our best, not just for the organization, but for Africa as a whole. We cannot just be allowing others to tell our narrative. We also need to be able to speak up in one form or the other. So once again, thank you for the opportunity to share. Thank you, Mr. President, and the whole OAD body. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear sister. I feel very glad seeing you again after a long time. Thank you so much for keeping yourself and keep working hard, making things happen. We appreciate your support. Our financial secretary there, sacrificial, getting things done. Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, of course, she mentioned something about you can get scholarships, recommendations, and all, people that it's a joy. We've been able to write recommendation letters for many people, and they have got what they are looking for, including some people who are trying to become citizens of the United States or some other places, other countries, or whatever, whichever place. We're able to write, and we get to be honored. So we've helped a lot of people secure professional positions in a number of universities, and a number of them are still being processed. We're partnered with a number of universities to provide some support here and there for persons, and so good things are happening. But of course, we do this only for people that are contributing, people we know we can recommend, and we will not be shooting ourselves in the foot. So if you are participating in what we're doing, you can be sure you will never lose. Yes, there'll be sacrifices made, uncomfortable sacrifices, but you will be gaining something constantly. So let's push it forward. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome our brother Gideon from Liberia, the Assistant General Coordinator of the OMG, that's the OAD Master of Human Initiative, and also Vice President of Liberian Student, the National Vice President of Liberian Student Union in China. Please, our brother Gideon, over to you right now.
All right. Hello, greetings everyone, wherever you join from. I'm Gideon Elbisori, a African Liberian. Being around OAAD is a blessing, actually. It's a blessing. OAAD is actually the driving force to our opinion when it comes to research. I've been through research, but like a blind man using a mirror but OAAD opened my eyes that I can see clearer. So I'm grateful to be a member of OAAD family, and I'm grateful to be an African. Collaboration is a key driver tackling problems and achieving speedy growth and wealth creation when it comes to Africa and a part of the world. Yeah, because if I started with OAAD and being available most of the time or almost all of the time is better, because with OAAD, if you have the currency called sacrifice, you will learn a lot while collaborating with people. You know, I joined the OAAD even to download a paper. It was not even to my knowledge. I suffer a lot. But while trying to help other people download paper, I'm almost like a master at downloading papers and other things. Yeah. So with OAAD, there are many ways that I actually grow and others are growing, following the footsteps. You can be a follower and later you will also be a leader. I believe every follower within OAAD is a leader in his own area of expertise. So there are a few other things that I actually learned while being around OAAD. Yeah, holistic problem solving. Yeah, and OAAD increase my creativity and innovation. OAAD can enhance problem comprehension for everyone. Once you're with them, you should just have the desire, and your ability will grow if you have the desire. OAD will provide the opportunities through collaboration. Collaboration is actually good. I have collaborated on some papers that from the beginning, looking at what were there, I would say, this one, I don't think I can do it. But with me, myself, I start going towards OAD while sharing, partnering with Chinese, with other Asian, with even people from Pakistan. We've been collaborating with them. And I decided to collaborate with even people in different fields of study, because at first my field of research, getting someone from OAD was so difficult for me. It is even today that I hear Emmett saying something close to my first research area, that Emmett Amunini. Yeah, so for that, because I was in the crystal growth coordination chemistry. So while I'm talking about growing crystal and switching their magnetic property from high spin to low spin, even the chemistry majors I'm meeting with say, I don't know that part of chemistry. So I couldn't suggest any topic that could fit. But as time go by, I decide to see how best I can do disciplinary collaboration with other people that help me in the growth, educational and professional growth. It's actually helped me a lot. Multidisciplinary collaboration, as the book that is planned to be out by OAAD. For me, I believe that OAAD, once they can envision anything, they can do it. Yeah, I have that trust within OAAD, and I believe in OAAD because they are helped many African, and even me, I have been helped. And if you have any, this is what I've been going through and been learning more. If you have any strength and you're part of OAAD, make that strength known. Yeah, through helping people in that strength, you can learn many other things from others also that will be part of OAAD, that are part of OAAD, and even people outside OAAD. Other people that are not even African will get your information and get to you. Oh, brother, can you please help me this? They will call you brother, they need your help. They will call you brother, can you please do this for me? I learned that you can do this. And you just willingly try to help them. Sometimes the method you are using to help them, if they bring their method they were using, you can see something within it and build on that to go higher. But with collaboration, we should always know that our collaboration as a goal will help us a lot. And once you have go without a deadline, I don't call that a real goal. We stay observing it. So we should also work within the deadline. We should push above our comfort zone to see how best we can get something good. Multidisciplinary collaboration offers the potential to achieve more comprehensive and innovative solutions to complex problems. Problems you may see as complex as possible, it may be someone who the strength they have and they know. So we can collaborate more by leveraging diverse perspective and expertise and knowledge for OAAD, and through other means we can enhance their problem-solving capabilities. Driving innovation and creating more sustainable outcomes will be what we will get as outcome. So thank you very much. In Union Strong, success is sure. And I thank you, I thank OAAD, and I ask everyone that believes in OAAD. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our brother Gideon. It's been a joy working with you. And just like he said, he has been doing like he said. He has the currency of sacrifice. Every time we call upon him, he tries his best. Whether it's convenient or not, he tries to make sure that he gets done, what he's called upon to do. It's never going to be easy. But if you put in your attention, we can get anything done. And he emphasized that he believes in OAD and that anything we say, we envision, he believes that we can achieve it. I believe too. And I hope we all believe, and we all shall be ready to make it happen. So thank you very much. And somebody, Brother Eresa, just advised that for everyone in this meeting, please hit the subscribe button on the OAD YouTube account and help to mobilize. If those of us who are in this meeting right now take it like a personal thing they want to achieve, like it's a way you want to help the organization to help get other people to subscribe to the YouTube account, we can actually begin to make money from there to support the organization. Because at the moment, we don't get money from anywhere. Anything we want to do, we just contribute money amongst ourselves. We have not charged anybody to pay dues or anything. So we're looking for innovative ways so that being part of OAD does not depend on paying money or paying dues. Just because you're African and you have competencies, there is something you can do. That is what allows you to be part of OAD. Thank you so much for that very beautiful input from you over there, our brother Aaron. Okay, the next person I see on my screen is our sister Holder Fambo. If you are disposed to jump in right away, you may jump in. Holder Fambo is the General Secretary of OAD Global and also the coordinator of our Economics Research Group. It's a joy having her with us. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our sister Holder Fambo. Over to you. Yes,
yeah,
you're on.
Good morning, good evening, good night. How are you, Mr. President? I'm very happy to have the opportunity to share my thoughts about this very important project and also topic. So I want to talk about collaboration in OAD, but from the business aspect, because as you know, OAD is not only about publishing papers, but also about collaboration in other fields too. So as you know, OAD provides us a very large platform with experts in every field. So for a young business-minded African scholar, it is very easy for us to start business by using OAD resources. For example, when you have a project, you don't need to have the expertise, you just need to have the idea, and then you contact a leader or a coordinator of a research group, And then you present the idea and it can help you contact the relevant people and start the business. Like discuss the business, start the business. You have expertise in every field. You can ask help from other experts or other people who already have experience in that sector. OAD has everything. So for me, OAD, everybody should take advantage of OAD, not only for the studies, but also for the after studies life. So this is what I have to say about collaboration in OAD. We can also, even as students, set some small consultancy companies. This can be done. Like very simple consultancy companies, adding some other people from our research groups or research interests or other like-minded people, and just come together with ideas. We need, as Africans, to get more involved in entrepreneurship and also to develop some solutions for our continent, because as you know, it is not a Chinese or an European or American that is going to develop solutions for our continent. No, there is no way to happen. So it is us as Africans abroad that have to do it. We need to develop solutions that are Afro-centered, that are Afro-friendly, very friendly, based on our knowledge from where we are, because most of us are out of the continent, even though right now I'm in Côte d'Ivoire, but we are basically out of the continent. So we can get knowledge from the place where we are. And then with our knowledge of our continent, we can use to combine those two factors and then create solutions that are more suitable for our continent, that are people back home. So this is something I want to encourage us to do. We come together with people from different backgrounds, from different countries, and we work on projects, business projects, because entrepreneurship is what is going to save our continent. It's not what you are seeing now, like people getting into politics and all those things. We have 1.4 billion people now, with 65% of them under age of 25. And according to the statistics, in 2050, we are going to double. So it means that we have a large labor force, and those people, we need to create jobs to absorb them. And it is not mainly people who are on the continent, but us from the diaspora that are going to do that job. We have to create jobs for our people on the continent through entrepreneurship, innovation, and technology. So this is what I want to say. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to say my thoughts about this very important topic related to collaboration in OAD. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our sister Hulda. It's a joy to have heard you speak to us with your very unique voice. Thank you so much for sharing this perspective. It's we're excited about it, and I hope, just like we said, we're emphasizing that every research group in OAD shall become a company, and we are going to support each company to become a unicorn that's valued at $1 billion as quickly as possible. We have what it takes to do it, and we just have to drive it. In the years ahead, not too long from now, we're going to establish our first university, and we're going to have at least 200,000 members. We have said it again and again, hailing from at least 150,000 families, being representative of at least 50,000 villages across Africa. And with this number, anything we want to do, we will just do it. Anything. As long as it's something good that's going to make our people survive better, we'll just do it. None of us will be struggling with money. And that's why we encourage us, don't put your hands in things that will make you weak in the future. Don't do anything fraudulent. Don't cheat in any way. Because I have heard recently that some of our leaders behave as if they are not really Africans, because they have done things in the past when they were young, trying to survive. They did things which weakened them, which immobilized them. such that in the future, when they become important people and leaders, the receipts of all the things they did in the past are still hanging there. And they can easily bring it and say, remember when you were a student, you did so, you did so. If you don't dance according to our tune now, we're going to bring this thing out. So in that way, we lose some people who should have been able to make a change. And suddenly you see them begin to behave as if they don't no longer understand the problems that they were talking about before they won elections. So please, my brothers and my sisters, do whatever you can to keep your integrity. Don't allow anything stain you. Keep your integrity, keep your head up. Whether you need money, everybody needs money. We'll always be needing money. You are young today. In the future, as I said, we are all going to be billionaires. We're going to help you. If you want to be a billionaire, we'll help you. If you are really ready to do the work as associated, we'll help you make it happen. It's all about being ready. We have all the ingredients for anything you want to cook in this world. You just make a demand and we'll provide the demands. And the world is about demand and supply. So let me not go very much further on that. Yeah, now I'll call upon the next person I see on my screen is our brother, Gustav. Our brother Gustav, are you on? And following him, we'll have our brother Mahama Yahaya in Ghana. So our brother Gustav, are you on now? Are you able to come up? Professor Gustav? Professor Gustav, can you come on? Okay, if we can't have him right now, please, our brother Dr. Mahama, are you able to come on?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, yes. Please go over, come on right now. Our brother Mahama Yahaya is the head of OAD Department of Games and Sports. He works with the Ghanaian Ministry of Works as an engineer there. Please, over to you. Come forward with it.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good day to all of you. Some of you, good night.
Yeah.
I hope you can hear me.
Very clearly.
Great. I've as usual been on site and I'm using my phone, so some interruptions will be okay. I've enjoyed the meeting for almost 3 hours now. I'm most grateful to those who have contributed. We've learned a lot. My experience in collaboration is very personal. I got to China to do my master's. Little did I know I will proceed to do PhD. I was scouting from lab to lab and looking like somebody who doesn't want to complete my master's in the eyes of friends. I will move from IT lab to geospatial lab to water resource lab, helping friends actually. You know, some of my friends were not that very grounded in English, so I was helping to edit their papers and blah, blah, blah. Looking like I'm not ready to help myself. Little did I know that I was the one going to come out with a very solid research among my colleagues. What am I trying to say? You might look as if you're moving around helping friends and collaborating is not inuring to your benefit in the short term. But trust me, you will gather more experience and the help you will get from the people you seem to be helping will be astonishing. At the end of the day, as a master's student, I came out with 2 papers within 2 years. And I presented them in conference, and that became my master thesis. Through the 2 papers, I got the presidential scholarship for the university. When I applied for the PhD, it was easier because of my participation in those conferences. And so collaboration is key to our personal development. The input that you require as a person, if you collaborate, you will take 30% of that input and achieve more than 100% of the results that you would have achieved if you were going solo. yes, OAAD, it is a living example of the benefits in the collaboration. And OAAD has actually given me some hope in our youth, some hope in Africa. I see OAAD to be an organization that can let Africa take its position in a lot of fields in Africa. Recently, OAAD had a football club in Ghana. I told one of the guys, "Oh, Charlie, you are doing well, but you can put in more." The players, just trying to encourage them. And I have also played football for some time, so I decided to participate. There I realized that they are doing their bit. In fact, I got a dislocated leg and I limped for almost 2 weeks by just about 12-year-old boy. That tells me that, yes, you have a part to play, they have a part to play. So if we put our efforts together, we will achieve what we need. If you jump to go and take somebody's role, you will find yourself wanting. So let's get ourselves organized. Let us take our positions, make our individual contributions, and we'll achieve a huge collective goal. Thank you very much. And I'm most grateful for the opportunity.
Powerful, powerful. Our brother Yahaya, really grateful, really grateful. Very beautiful words. In OAD, I see hope. I see hope for Africa. Me too. Me too. And I'm excited partnering and working with you. Our head of games and sports. Our football academy is doing really well in Ghana under his leadership. We are really grateful. We're looking forward to great things. In the years ahead, we will have people arising from that club, from that academy to take their place at the center stage of things in the world in terms of football stars. We have experts who are coming up in that place. Yes, and with that, please, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to call on our sister, Ruth Gordon. If you are up right now, please feel free to take the stage. Our sister Ruth Gordon is in Ghana and has been a very passionate contributor in what we're doing. I remember one time somebody jokingly addressed her as OAD moderator because she has moderated so many events in OAD. So please, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our sacrificial sister, Ruth Gordon. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof. Able President. Thank you for the opportunity given me. And I'm also glad and privileged to be part of this great family, not just OAAD, but part of Africa as well, and among great academicians and all that. Talking about collaborations, even though I have not had any collaborations with any of the angles of OAAD, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and then what I can say about that is we can be in collaboration in everything that we do, but trust me, if there is no unity, our collaboration will be in vain, you know. And one revelation I took from Professor Tomori's submission was that from all that he said, it boils down to unity. As African young leaders, they have done their bit, and it's our time also to rise up and then to spearhead what they have done, where they have stopped, and continue, and then take it further. If we are not united in mind, if we are not united in heart, if we are not united in spirit, all that we are talking about, we'll just be jumping about, doing this, doing that, but that united spirit will not be there for what we are talking about to come to reality. So for us to collaborate well, I believe we also have to think of uniting ourselves as Africans as one. And when we do that, I'm not just seeing a group of African doctors, but I'm seeing a new version of African Union, you know, uniting African nations together as one, doing our own thing, doing what is best for ourselves, having our own lifestyle as the West and Asians have done for themselves. And when we get there, we enjoy it, and we wish to stay there forever, you know. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself and greeted. I'm home now. I have been in China for 5 years, and I'm done with whatever I came to do there. I'm now with my family. Currently, I'm in the kitchen preparing food for my kids, you know. That is why I was able to put on my video. Pardon me for that. And good afternoon to from Ghana. Yes, so thank you so much. As someone addressed me as OAA moderator, because they were always seeing me moderating some couple of programs for OAD. And it's not a bad thing. I think this is a great platform where we can tap into talent and then develop to work with the administrative team, background, history, gender, any of the teams. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, our dear sister Ruth. We look forward when you're done with the cooking. Send us some banku from Ghana. Let's enjoy with you. Yeah, and
I will, definitely.
Thank you. Warm regards to the family, and looking forward to discussing further.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Yes. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're working towards finishing or closing the conversation. And our brother, Professor Gustav, is in the house. I had called on him earlier. Please, Professor Gustav, over to you right now. If you are up for it, take up the stage. It's yours. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I'm happy to see everybody actively participating. And I think I must say great congratulations to you, our president, and the efforts and the communications that you have had with me over the period. I think all the contributors have touched on the points that I think seek to be our main objective. And for years, my focus has been on the youth. And I think it is very important that the youth is empowered. And I've seen that in this group that we have formed. I'm happy to be part of the group. And I think that it's okay that we have all traveled all over the world to gain knowledge and experience. But the essential thing is, how do we bring all these experiences and efforts and resources that we have acquired over the years back home to Africa, our motherland, to make a transformative impact. And I think that this is opportunity, and I want to be part of the beginning to wherever we'll get to. And I think that apart from the experiences and the knowledge that we want to bring together, I also think that we should be able to marshal resources. And I think, President, I've had a couple of chats with you, and I think we are capable. We should have a big vision, as you have always indicated, but start very small, and we'll get there. I want to see all of us be part of this process. And I think commitment is very, very important. One of our ladies made a very, very important point. Immediately I joined. I think she's from Ghana also. She was talking about the fact that the danger we have sometimes is that we can all start with a very good mindset, very good objective, with all the energy, but along the line, individuals begin to make gains, they fall out, and the ship is left afloat. I think this shouldn't be one of these main or major projects that will start, and along the line, when the leaders or whoever we are begin to feel the impact or begin to have the benefits, then we'll be seeking to abandon the ship. I think it shouldn't be the case, because we are all here for benefits. Certainly, we must have benefits. If each one of us wants to be part of this project, and you don't have in mind having any benefit, then I don't think it's worth joining. We all want benefits, but that benefit must be collective, and that benefit must be used to impact on the younger generation that are following us. I think that it's very, very good, and we should all have it at the back of our mind, is that once we are making gains, and once we are moving forward, that forward movement must be a very good track for others to follow. We should not create a track and in such a way that others cannot follow us. I think that would be very, very unfortunate. So we are here today, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, we should be very happy sitting back and seeing other younger ones following our footsteps and even doing greater things. I welcome this idea, and I'm always available to make my contribution. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Gustav. We are really, really, really blessed to have your commitment and your contribution constantly. I'll invite you to the editorial team, like I told you before, to be part of those to pioneer the OAD journal, which we are driving. So, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, please, we're moving towards, the sacrifice you've made to hang in from the beginning till this time is amazing. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate everyone who has been hanging in. We've already put in over 3 hours. We're still going, but we are going to be closing shortly so that people can, be able to go to get some rest in different parts of the world where they are. Let's welcome our sister, Tabitha, to share her thoughts, if she's still available right now. Please, our sister Tabi, over to you.
I hope I'm loud.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Elijah, Mr. President, for the opportunity. Good evening, everybody. For those who are in this time zone, and greetings for those who are in different time zones. Well, I'm not going to open my camera because I'm sleeping.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay.
But I think I've heard from a number of the speakers. There is something that I learned from the time I joined OAAD. That was, I think, around the celebration of African Day last year. And it was adding value to our continent. And that mind actually caused me to change my research direction. To just find a way of incorporating some of my people from my university. And it came as being, I think, more of a culprit of having written a book chapter, and I was the only person on the chapter. So I just wanted to quit that selfishness and bring my people on board, because we have all had the challenge. And one gentleman, I think from Nigeria, I didn't get the name very well, sorry, who was saying that he finishes PhD and he goes back home, but still is looking for a job. And that, I think, has been one of the most painful thoughts for me after the hard work of us all in whichever areas we are. And then you go back home and you're supposed to sell like a hot cake, but then they're looking at you as either overqualified or a threat. But for me, the thought that I got in the whole arena of collaboration was that there are many opportunities that we can have, depending on the professor that you have, to bring our people on some of our publications. though without much collaboration, how can we help our universities back home to get a higher ranking? Because as we all know, I mean, publications like really a major factor to consider in some of these things. And that is something that I just considered, and I started just looking for a way out how I can add some of my professors back home and the department and the university as a whole, which will be a plus for my country. Sorry, I come from Uganda, and I have, by the grace of God, just had a publication where I added 2 of my professors from the university. Not because they did so much, but I just want to add to the value of the university, add to the value of the faculty, add to the value of that department, which I think should be an instance of, they are not just waiting for me to go back and begin getting into the offices, but how can I add unto them, even as they built me, they played a role in my early academic life. So it's a thing that I learned, I think, more majorly from Nigerians of how they bring the universities back on board. You find a good publication, but there is Nigeria University. There is a Nigerian university on board. How do they do it? And you find that if you look at Africa, I mean, Nigeria is somewhere up there because of some of these attributes that are considered in their publications. So even as we are collaborating in OAAD and with the rest of the world, can we bring our universities back on board? Not because we are going back to lecture them, but we can help, and that will be helpful to the next generations. They will find that the university they're joining is highly ranking, or they have won a good grant from a certain government or a certain funder, just because they have that added value that you contributed to as an academician and as a former student of the university. We have to pay back in one way or the other, because God knows why you had to go through that university. So for me, the mind of collaboration, even as I learned it from OAAD, is let us add value to those who have played a role in our lives, and that is really undeniable. Our schools, our universities bring someone up, help the ranking go up, help Africa go up in this way, because it's lagging behind due to research. We are here, we are researching, we are upgrading all the different universities we are in. How about our African universities? Can we do something for them even as we are here? I know some professors don't want to hear, but now, I will speak for China where we are, that there are many grants that are they're opened, especially for Africa and some of these other parts, the Asian countries. Those collaborations are there, and they are looking for building collaborative labs and everything, but they need first you to prove to them that you have collaborated with a professor or professors from those universities, and then the grant will come, or the building of the core lab will be established. And I think these are things that we would all look forward for and to. Thank you very much. I'll end there.
All right, beautiful input there, our sister Tabi. We thank you for the very powerful words of encouragement and guidance, and how OAD has been of impact in your research. That's exciting. Thank you so much. Look forward to doing more together. Yeah, and now, brothers and sisters, thanks again for all the time you've taken. Let's hear from in fact, anybody here now that wants to say something before I call the next panelist. If anybody that's not on the panel wants to say something, please, this is your time. Anybody that's not one of the panelists want to say something, please take it up from here. Okay, our brother Musa Tada, your hand is raised. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I have to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are right now. Although I am very close to Mr. President, living in China, currently in Hangzhou, for the last 3 hours, I have really learned a lot, and I have gained a lot of experience, which of course, this is not the first time. Whenever I see any engagement, especially on the OAD, I always used to try to squeeze and attend it. And all I can say, there are some spices, which of course I have to add to this. I learned a lot. One is trust in OAD, respect, understanding, commitment, and sacrifice. All this, of course, when I say I learned from either a member or the other, but especially from the president, I'm sure everyone will attest to this. Just not long ago, the president, there is a member who is about to leave to Nigeria. He completed his PhD here in China and his postdoc as well. He's about to go home. Mr. President left almost all that he's doing in Shanghai and come down to Hangzhou just to visit us and to say bye-bye to that brother. So this is, I can say, of course, is part of the commitments or part of the sacrifices. So this sacrifice and mutual respect is something that we need. And of course, I can also be proud of OAD because one of my papers that I have published, OAD is part of it. And of course, about 2 of the members were co-authors in that. I invited them personally. I asked for the address from the president, and I added OAD as part of my affiliations. And I'm very, very proud of that. And of course, I know I have been very busy during my PhD work, but now doing postdoc almost in my 2nd year. So I'm very, of course, you will not be that very free, but I am now more than ready to see how we can continue to uplift OAD through our researches. I'm in biosystem engineering here in JGN University, and I'm really grateful for having this opportunity to be part of this family. And we hope to see Africa that is walking back again, especially if you remember Professor Tomori was saying, the network is behaving like our leaders, if you remember. So this is also another challenge. And with people like Prof. Samuel, that is, I think, currently in the UK, right?
Yes.
And
yes,
others,
yes.
Dr. Hamza, and all members of OAD, we can be able to achieve something very tangible for Africa. That is for our motherland. Thank you very much once again. And I'm also open for collaboration, and I'm always ready to see how we can continue to uplift and fulfill all the targets that we have in OAD. Thank you once again, and good night to Mr. President, and bye-bye to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our brother, Mr. Tada. Really, really excited, and I appreciate your comments. Very much appreciated. And looking forward to more and more, just as you said, which we're going to do together. And let me remind us, please, ladies and gentlemen, that tomorrow at 8 p.m., we're going to have our quarterly general meeting, which we normally call family meeting. Please prepare for it. We're going to make it brief since we have taken a lot of time today. Yeah, so let's hear from our brother, Dennis R. Nimeli Jr. Please, over to you. Unmute yourself and speak.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. President, and thanks to all the panelists who have spoken. Honestly, my being with this group today is an eye-opener. I am completing my master's in mathematics education here at Kenyatta University in Kenya, and I'm set to return home on Thursday next week. But since we had that very first interaction when you were introducing the program to come, and then I was introduced to this OAD, I've actually been learning so much. Yeah, I already have the experience with collaboration. By the grace of God, I was able to collaborate with one professor from India, and we have done a paper together, and that paper is pending to be published. So honestly, I am so much overwhelmed with this issue of collaboration, because it's one of the aspects of what we discuss in our course work in collaborative learning. And it cut across seriously. Like many of the speakers said, it's not just only about publishing, but it's also about providing assistance. And for me, that's one thing I always love doing, giving assistance. And I have worked so long as a volunteer, trying to help colleagues. Just like one of the speakers was saying, sometimes you feel like you are not even thinking of completing your own tasks that you have because you want to help others to see them moving further. And it actually builds you up, it actually teach you, it actually gives you that level of getting the experience. So actually, I'm happy to be with this group, and I look forward to working with the group in a larger collaboration, especially in the area of research, mathematics, education, social sciences, or any other thing. Because most of you that have spoken, I'm hearing that you are in the sciences, and you're thinking about building labs and other things. Like for us, we are social scientists, and so thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, our brother Dennis. It's exciting. Yeah, you build social lab and put, fix our continent. Thank you so much. It's been a very beautiful thing being with you. Again and again, we keep enjoying the inputs coming from our brothers. Dennis is currently, as I said, in Kenya, studying in Kenya, but he's from Liberia and will be returning home soon. We've had a lot of support from our brothers and sisters from Liberia, so we are excited to have you on board. Yes, so if there is no other person, I will call another panelist that will just talk to us briefly as we progress. Xiaomi, I don't know who the name is, whether it's one of our panelists. Xiaomi 2109116AC. The name appears as Xiaomi. If you're one of the panelists, please, you may unmute yourself and speak. Then let me check any other panelists that has not spoken. Okay, I think most of the panelists. Dr. Fatma, happy to have you on board. Any other? Okay, I think all the panelists in the house have said, they have spoken, said something. Yeah. And yes, now let's just have maybe one more. Anybody? Professor Richard, anybody want to say anything before we move towards a close? We have already taken a lot of time, but please just prepare yourself. Tomorrow, our family meeting is coming up at 8 p.m. And also we'll be bringing details about how we're going to split the research groups so that we can begin to move towards implementation of the book. So yeah, please, any other speaker right now? It's unfortunate we didn't have our brother Dr. Olayinka. Internet gets knocked him off, and we couldn't hear from him. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, could there be any question? Anybody want to ask any question which I can provide answer before we close it? Thank you so much, Dr. Ayugi, for hanging in. Thank you, our brother Ahmed Omoni, really excited. Thank you, our brother Aaron. Thank you, our sister Benita. Thank you, our brother Christopher Doma, our brother Dennis Nimeli. Brother Emmanuel Resanya, thank you for still hanging in with us all the way from Ireland. Thanks very much, our sister Hoda Fambo. Yes, I'm asking if anybody wants to say any other thing before we close, but if nobody wants to say other thing, then we can move it to a close. Okay, it's like there's a hand up. That may be a raising hand. Thank you so much, our sister Gloria, our brother Gustav, our brother Kumi. So if anybody wants to, okay, it's like somebody wants to say something, please you unmute yourself and proceed. Somebody raised a hand. Unmute yourself and proceed.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody, or
Thank
good
you,
evening, good
Ndubisi.
morning, wherever you are. My name is Dr. Ndubisi Nwakama. Thank you, Mr. President. I think we've met before sometime last year. I'm from Yaba College of Technology here in Lagos.
Oh, yeah. Great, great. I remember. I was
Can
looking
you
for
hear
your
me?
contact. I couldn't connect with you again. Yeah, I remember.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've
Yeah.
sent a chat today to display my email contact, and I'm hoping that we get in contact again. I've been following, I've joined since for about more than 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, and I've been following all the discussions today. I must say I'm very much encouraged, and I am hopeful. It will follow what Professor Tomori said some time ago, that he was coming from the loo where he shouldn't be to the moon where he should be. Professor Tomori enjoined us to go on and not to stop. That will take Africa to the moon. And I quite appreciate that comment, and it's heartwarming for me. I'd also put up a chart here. I believe in collaboration. I think it was Dr. Eresanya Emmanuel that said something that after finishing, he wanted to do postdoc and they were calling him, but they just found out that when they came to age, he was above 35. I am much above that, and I still need a sabbatical space or a postdoc space. My background is in cell biology and genetics for PhD from the University of Lagos, and I have a BSc background in botany, which means I'm into plant research. I believe that collaboration will take us to the next level. And I believe that I'll be around to see the transformation that will happen with Africa. I so much believe so. I will not just be around, I'll participate in it actively. All of us will participate in it actively. Our researches will not just end in the lab. It's going to make us rich. Like Mr. President was saying, that we'll become millionaires and billionaires. And I'm sure that's when we can encourage other younger ones to join us. I want to congratulate every person that has been part of this discussion today. I've followed very actively and I've listened very attentively. I must say I'm encouraged, and let us all encourage to move Africa forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Very, 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 very grateful. It's exciting to hear from you again. Very encouraging words, and we have no need to be afraid or to worry about anything. There's nothing we cannot achieve, and we can see it happening. So thank you so much for those inputs. We are really grateful, and I will connect with you further. I'll just ask them. I promise, and we'll talk more deeply. Yeah, we see the hand of our brother Emmanuel Eresanya. Dr. Eresanya, please, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment as from the last speaker. I would like to ask if he has WeChat and it can be added to the group of people in his research group, so that he'll be able to getting sabbatical is quite easy, maybe 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. So based on your area of research, so maybe the president can follow up on that to know if he has WeChat and add him to the group. Job opportunities are being shared in each research group. And you can also collaborate with person that can serve as your host in China or
okay, I'm not on Thank you. I'm not on WeChat for now, but I will put up my email address again on the chat, on the Zoom chat of this meeting.
Okay, I think Mr. President can follow up on that. I don't need to proceed.
Yes.
The best way is for you to download WeChat and join. Yes.
Perfect. Well, I'll follow up on that. And if we find a way we can get on WeChat, definitely we can find a way, even though sometimes it's tricky, but we'll overcome it. Our sister, Professor Loretta Ofodile, was able to go through it. I know how she struggled, and it finally happened. We'll do it again, and we will succeed, and we'll be able to bring our brother, Dr. Nwakama, on board, and we will definitely keep pushing forward and get done whatever we need to get done. Nothing can stop us. It's impossible to be stopped. For us to be stopped, we can't be stopped. We have what it takes to make everything happen. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's always better to hang around on WeChat for now at this stage of our operation. We're just trying to streamline and make it a little easier for ourselves to drive the space. We don't want to create WhatsApp groups. If we need too many groups, we can't manage all of it. But we're going to, our database on the website is going to do the trick soon, and we'll be able to have more engagement that can make it easy for everyone to interact. And of course, let's still have your email as you mentioned. That would just be fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And of course, our sister Professor Ofodile is our country ambassador, which will be announced more officially subsequently as we gather other country ambassadors, because we have at least one country ambassador, a primary one and a subsidiary, hopefully, which we will be putting more official subsequently in the years ahead. So it's a beautiful thing to have come to this point in this meeting. So ladies and gentlemen, if there is nobody else wanting to say something, we'll be able to draw the curtains at this point and wait for our meeting tomorrow at 8 p.m. Beijing time, the family meeting coming up tomorrow. So please let's plan for that and participate effectively, participate actively. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have something else you want to say, that would just be fine. But if there is none, we can move towards a close of the meeting at this time. And if there's anybody that maybe if you want to, if you're disposed to take a photo, you can open your camera and we can take a screenshot. Although most people have already moved on, but if you are disposed, we can take a screenshot. Anybody who can open the camera, that's fine. If you can't open, it's just good. We will just do with whatever we can catch, and that will be just perfect. No troubles at all if you're not able to activate the camera. Fine. Yeah, cool. Excellent. Anybody who can open, that's great. That's great. Yeah. A number of persons are activating their cameras, and we will take shots. All right, excellent. So waiting for a few more seconds and I'll take a shot. Just waiting for a few more seconds and I'll take a shot. Okay, so I will assume that these are the people that are disposed to get on camera. And right now I'm taking the shot. Thank you so much for being part of this meeting, and do have a wonderful time. Yeah, I've captured one, and that's just fine. So please, brothers and sisters, thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you are interested in being a coordinator of a research group or secretary of a research group or assistant coordinator of a research group, please plan for it. Let me know. It takes a little work, but you will enjoy yourself. And of course, you will not fail to enjoy many great things. Yeah. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's take it that it's the end of today's conversation. And if you want to hang around and say one or two things, please feel very free to do so. And I'll hang around for a little while myself or in fact, I'll hang around for as long as there is anybody here to, to do anything. I'll hang around myself, and we hope to enjoy more and more of the conversation, as the case may be, as we are all together. So please, just wishing you all the best, and moving forward into the far future, we'll keep enjoying ourselves, because we have what it takes to enjoy ourselves and to make things happen. So please, great point. Anybody want to say something freely? Let's chat before we close. If anybody wants to do that, we have closed now. It's now officially ended, and we'll be looking forward to other things subsequently. See you tomorrow at the meeting, at the family meeting. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging around. We're really grateful, really grateful. Yeah, thank you, Marwa. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Christopher. Really.
Thank you, bro.
You're welcome. Yeah, Linda, thank you for hanging in and for doing a great job. Grateful, really grateful. Thank you. Yeah, Dennis, you want to say something? Please feel free. The meeting is over.
Yeah.
It's now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Since we are discussing now unofficially, I still want to just talk to you and appreciate you. But there's something I wanted to find out. You talk more about the research groups. So I actually wanted to know those groups. What are those groups, the research groups, and then maybe one can express that interest. Because like I said, I listened to most of the speakers. They are all into applied science and the pure sciences. Yeah, only for we that are in and the social sciences, mathematics, education specifically. So I wanted to know, what are the research groups? Yeah.
Okay, yes, OAD has 46 research groups. OAD has 46 research groups. And but at the moment, we are working towards restructuring. So many of the groups that are kind of Hydra-headed units will be broken down into smaller units with people that are very much more into related research areas, people who use similar tools for data collection, people who use similar tools for data analysis, and people who publish in similar journals. We're going to break down in that way. And also something else to emphasize is that, yes, we have research groups in the Masters Grooming Initiative. We have some research groups. If you ask Linda, Linda can connect you with, she's still here. She's the coordinator, the general coordinator of the Masters Grooming Initiative. Because of course, as you're working towards getting into your PhD, you'll be able to join the main OAD research groups, because the main OAD research groups are for PhD holders and PhD students. Of course, we know that you've got capacity, so you can also join in doing any work, any research that's ongoing, you can join, even if you're not a PhD holder or PhD student, in researching area. So we have an OAD social science research group. We also have OAD education research group. In fact, the education research group, they are currently doing a number of projects, and they have published, they have submitted some, which have been, have returned from reviewers, are kind of ready for acceptance and things like that. So they're doing a lot of good work. So I can connect you with the coordinator of the OAD education research group, because I think that's your area.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But of course, as I said, you will not be able to officially join the research group at this time, but you can join the projects.
Okay.
Yes, you can join to co-author papers or to do anything that's being done, but you cannot join as an official member of the research group at the moment, until you get on your PhD, which we hope should be soon. So are you intending to do your PhD in Liberia, or you go to another country?
I'm intending to do my PhD here in Kenya, though what I'm still searching for maybe opportunities, because like here is something that will be self-initiative, which I've already purpose in my mind to do. Yeah. So while I'm awaiting the bigger space for maybe sponsorship or so, I will want to have started it by myself. So in December, after the graduation in December, that I will process my application and start in May 2024, hopefully. So the 2024 May intake, I will have started my PhD program.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Looking forward to that. And I can connect you with some of our members in Kenya who are into the university system. Our brother, Dr. Cedric, I think he's in doing his research area, but definitely he's not in mathematics and he's not in education.
Okay.
But just people to hang, to connect with.
Sure.
And I will connect you. I'll send you, when I grab my phone, I'll send you their contacts so you can reach out to them. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. I think I don't know if there's anybody else that want to say something. That'll be fine. But if not, okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Our brother Kenneth, please, over to you. Is that the Kenneth from Nigeria?
Dr. Wakama.
Okay. Dr. Wakama wants to speak. Okay, please. Is it Kenneth that wants to speak?
Yes, I just wanted to thank you once again and look forward to your assistance in whichever way you can for the sabbatical discussion I mentioned.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We'll talk about that. I can also take your WhatsApp number. My phone is not here right now, but I can give you my number and we can connect on WhatsApp, and that can be a speedy conversation channel as well before you get on WeChat.
Oh, that's good. Let me chat you up now, or let me just put on the chat of this platform my phone number, which is on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. It's exciting to have your involvement, and we will drive things. So I put my own phone number as well in the chat. Here on Zoom.
Okay.
So you can, yes, you can also drop yours and then I'll pick it up subsequently. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. So Kenneth, is Kenneth still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, perfect. So is that the Kenneth that just arrived China from Nigeria, or another Kenneth?
No, this is the Kenneth.
Okay, this is okay. Okay, perfect, Kenneth. Yeah, over to you, please. Feel free.
Actually, what I want to ask is about my wife. I was thinking, is there any research group, or is it possible for us, an aspiring master's degree holder, to join any research group? Like, she's not, but she's teaching. She has the experience for some years now. She's teaching, but she's actually not a master's degree student yet. But
Your voice is sounding a bit far away. I'm kind of straining to hear what you're saying.
Okay, can you? Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's clearer now. Yes.
Okay, so I said I want to ask the question for my wife, because she's a BSc holder, but not yet a master degree holder. She's aspiring to go for master degree, but she has actually gained a lot of experience. She graduated since 2018, and she'll be teaching. But she was asking me if it is possible for her to join any of the group, even if it's not a master student yet. So I said, okay, let me ask if it is possible for her to join any group.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. She can join the Masters Grooming Initiative. Does she have WeChat?
Okay. Yeah, she did.
Does she have WeChat now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can. Okay, so I can invite you to the Masters Grooming Initiative group, and then you invite her.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, and also, what's
in
her
regard to-
research area?
She's, I think, early age education.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you want to say something else?
Yeah, I was just in regard to my own aspect. I think we talked at length the other time, but on group, I've actually not seen like is there any wireless sensor network or IoT group for the research?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have a group for wireless network. Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, we do. But of course, it may not even be okay. It's fine to get on that group now. It's fine because it's a defined area. It's a clean area that can be that you can get to do something. Okay, you're already on that group. You're already on the Masters Grooming Initiative group. Maybe I'll tag you there, and you can invite her subsequently.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, and for the wireless network research group, I will invite you. I will check it out and then invite you there. But like I said, we may actually be breaking it down later or soon. Yes, so but it's fine to just get in. We have, okay, it's called OAD Wireless Communication Research Group. Wireless Communication Research Group. Is that your area, right? Part of your area?
Yeah, but I think
right?
there is still a bit of differences between them. You know, the wireless sensor network, I think, is different from wireless network. Wireless network, I think they are two different.
Okay. That's fine. Forgive me, I'm a layman, so I will. Just as you mentioned it now, I will just like to ask you: will you be disposed to become the leader of that group? Assuming we set up the group, are you disposed to become the leader?
Yeah, I think we'll talk about that later, sir.
Okay, no problems. Yeah, so because we just like to make action. We'll talk about it later, and I agree on which how we can drive that, because we need leadership is the most important thing for every research group, and of course with your expertise in terms of the practical areas of things, it will be a very useful thing to have you lead a certain group or drive a certain space in that area, whether it is the IoT. We could create the IoT research group, or we could create the wireless sensor. Whichever one, we'll be able to work with it and find other people who are in the area, and we'll be able to drive whatever needs to be driven. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Excellent. Anybody still hanging around, want to ask a question or say something? It's your time before we push it forward. Perfect. Nobody right now. So Dr. Wakama, I have seen your phone number. Let me put it in my phone straight away. So that we can get it.
I've seen yours too. I'm trying to save it and connect.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
You're good to go. Yeah. So absolutely grateful. So we'll keep in touch and keep making things
Yes,
happen.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Please don't put stuff on me or let me not get in trouble. Yeah, just your number is 233 or 234. That's Ghanaian line.
It's 234. That's the code for
Okay, the
Nigeria.
code. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But my number is 08050771923.
Okay. That's good.
Thank you.
That's good. All right, please. Thank you.
All right. God bless you.
You're welcome, dear brother. Really grateful. Thank you so much. Have a great time.
Later. We'll talk. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Thanks. Hey. Hello, Lucy. Hello, Galaxy A9. The meeting has actually ended. The meeting has ended now. And we are just about shutting down. Right, perfect. Yeah, Lucy, thank you. The meeting ended already.
Yes, please. I know this is the end, and I'll make it a very brief one. My name is Lucy, and I'm connecting from Ghana. I have been following since the start of the discussions, and I must applaud you and then commend you for the hard work. I've learned so much from the group. I've learned so much from everyone, the professors, the doctors, and everyone. And it's been an enlightening session for me. In Ghana, I stand for Dev Africa Institute and would be very happy to have collaborations ongoing if there is any. In my board, I have a team of doctors, most of which also studied from universities in China, various universities. Myself graduated from a university in China with industrial economics background. That's a PhD. And I am the director for Dev Africa Institute. I'll be very glad to connect with you, and then we can have other discussions wherever possibilities are for meaningful and mutually beneficial collaborations. I want to thank you once again for everything.
Powerful. Thank you very much. We are very much at home with that. So this is my phone number. Let's connect on WhatsApp. Yeah,
sure.
I just put it on the chat. Let's connect on WhatsApp and talk further and plan what we can do together in that regard.
Yes, please.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely. And of course,
I'm ready.
Excellent. I can hear it in your voice.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Do have a wonderful time. So I'll just close the platform right now. Galaxy, you joined. I don't know if you can hear us, but actually the meeting has ended and we're just closing it up right now. Thank you so much for hanging around, and we are putting it out right now.